Welcome guys. How you guys doing today? I hope everybody's fine. So sorry for you guys for the delay. My internet went off, so I wasn't able to speak to you guys. So, but I think my internet is fully back now. My internet is fully back now, and I'm kind of okay with it at the moment. So let's talk about the match.
Shambles.
So firstly, let me
Shambles.
come let me come to
Disaster.
offside. Let me come to offside first. Do you blame this on Lampard or do you blame the player? Because for me, from day one, I wasn't Lampard in from day one. Even the layer can
Wow,
even
you're going
testify.
right into you're going right. You're going straight into it. Straight up, Lampard all the way. Lampard is to blame 100%. I don't blame the players. He's the manager, and the players are not motivated. It's his job, it's his
Mm-hmm.
responsibility to do it, and it's not just this game. It's been like that in the past couple of games, and it means something. The only player that seemed interested or seemed really willing today was Missing Mount, and I think
Mm-hmm.
it has more to do with he himself, his personality and drive, than it
Yeah.
does with the manager, what the manager says and all that. From
Yeah.
the starting lineup, everything, Lampard, the tactics, everything, nothing was right. But then again, it's Lampard that is the problem. And I say it again, loud and clear. If you guys have not been hearing me before, Lampard out now.
From day one, I've been Miyagi must come in. He has to come in because he's been one back in Lampard. I hope you already give him the link. He needs to come in.
Yes. I'll give
He
it
needs
to
to
him.
show up because he's been the one supporting Lampard. For me, it's been day one because I think for me, I told you the Roman made that mistake. Ayari Lampard. It's an inexperience. People say we need to trust process. We can trust process. The manager himself is not even ready to trust any process. How will we fans trust the process? This team doesn't now. It's based on individuals. This team just only individuals. No pattern of play, no tactics, just individuals. I really don't understand Lampard's style of play. They may progress in the Europa League. Man, I already told the church we're finishing seventh. Or we'll be lucky. I don't get Lampard problem. Lampard, I don't really understand the problem. So let me come to Deloye now. Can you tell me what the problem exactly is? It the player, the manager, what's going on, or do we put it on the blame or the blame on the owner? Because I know we can't put the blame on the owner because the owner could do whatever they want to do. They've already spent they've backed Lampard. They've backed him. For me, it's the manager that has been the most manager that have been back in this summer. So I have no one should come and give me any excuse and say it's not been back. It's been massively banked. So now. This is the time for Lampard to show his to show his news as a manager, but he hasn't shown it. So we have no excuse. So do they have anything to say about this? What's going on with this team? I don't know. I can't even rant anymore. I'm just kind of down. I don't know. Are you there, Deloy? Deloy, are you there? You there? I can't hear you. Oh, let me come to Marvelous now. Marvelous, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. What was
Wow.
the question? I just joined.
My question is it time for you to say it's over, Frank Lampard? The honeymoon is over. He has to go.
I I think he'll be let go before the end of January. Yeah, 100%.
So why isn't now? Now. Why end of January? Why now? Why not now?
Because I think they wanted to use this game
Mm-hmm.
as if he would have won, he would have bought himself more time pending
Okay.
till the end of the season. Because I
Okay.
feel like regardless of what happens at the end of the season, he will be let go unless we win the Champions League. But
I doubt it. I don't see that.
now that he has lost this game, what they're
Mm-hmm.
going to do is start to finalize contract talks with whomever's coming next. So if it's Allegri or if it's Tuchel, those
Mm-hmm.
talks will pick up and go into their final stages now. So it may take 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks
Mm-hmm.
before everything is negotiated and the new manager comes in. So that's why I'm saying till the end of January.
End of January. Okay. So for this match now, who do you place the blame on? Because like I already told you, you know my stand on Lampard from day one. Lampard is a 2 years apprenticeship manager. I keep saying it. Last year was his first year of getting the apprenticeship manager. This year is almost time for him to go because apprenticeship is almost over. And when you're doing like a 2 years apprenticeship manager as a 2 years apprenticeship job in a job, when you do that 2 years apprenticeship, when you get to a stage when like I think it's time to go, your 2 years is done. For me, he has to go because Roman gave you the money and you keep telling us the player needs to jail. I don't. That's not an excuse for you to tell me the player needs to jail because these players are. Hakim Ziyech has been playing for Ajax, not for how many years now, and you keep telling me he needs to jail to EPL. How long will he jail to the EPL? How long? I can't believe Lampard is putting our creativity on Mason Mount. I cannot believe that. I tend not to believe that. I tend not to believe that Lampard is putting the creativity into Mason Mount. No.
Good
This is not the
evening. Okay, no.
this is not the club I supported. No, this is not the club. No. And Mount is a good player. I'm not saying it's a bad player, but putting the creativity on him and making him do the all everything in the team. No. This is not the Chelsea Football Club I supported. This is not the club. This is not the club. So let me come to our question now. So what's your take on this match? Are you Lampard out or Lampard in? Or you want him to give him time?
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yeah, you see, the fact is that after this match, I just want the best for Chelsea. So if Lampard is staying, if Lampard is going, whatever is going to happen, I just want the best for Chelsea. And then I joined late, but I heard what you were saying, and you said Ziyech was balling at Ajax and stuff like that. And he said Lampard wants him to gel in EPL. I quite disagree with that because Ziyech immediately he started playing well, but after the injury, he has not regained that standard he set when he started playing. That is first thing. And then he also made mention of something about Mason Mount, and he said Lampard is relying on Mason Mount for creativity, and I want to tell you that is not true either, because I think Mason Mount is one of the, I would say currently is the only player I believe that is playing for the badge. Like he's stepping up to do a lot of things that.
My question to you is why would you be Mason Mount stepping up for the badges? Why not other players? Why would be Mason Mount only? Why not other players? Because if Lampard is that really good as we say is good, he's kind of the best player. Lampard has let me tell you the player Lampard has played under. He's played under Jose, under Ancelotti, under top tier manager, and he played with Drogba, Anelka, Deco, John Terry. Those are world class players that Lampard. No, this is not Lampard of a new Lampard. Lampard that he had the experience.
Wait, I'm not. You are getting it all wrong. If Lampard play with all these players, doesn't mean it does not even have effect on what I'm saying, and it does not even correlate with what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that Mason Mount stepping up to do the job of other people is not Lampard instruction. 1, 2. Mason Mount, most of Mason Mount's creativity comes from set piece, dead balls, and Mason Mount is the best set piece taker in Chelsea at the moment. Okay. So when he racks up creativity starts from set piece, are you telling me it's Lampard's fault or what? But I don't understand that fact. There are creative players in Chelsea. Ziyech is creative, but Mason Mount is a better set piece taker than Ziyech, if we are to be honest, from corner kick, free kick, and every other thing. And then, yes, that's where most of his assists are coming from. I mean, most of his creative stats are coming from. And then, that is just Mason Mount. Lampard is not relying on Mason Mount for creativity. Mason Mount is just doing his job as a player. So that is not even. I don't think that is even correct because
Let me put it this way to you. As a man, okay, I can understand what you're saying. I understand that perfectly. But my issue is that what is Lampard is even telling these players in training? Because when I watch the training video, I see them shooting, I see them scoring goals, feeling happy, feeling kind of understanding each other. When it comes to the pitch, they look lackluster, abysmal. They look so terrible. Then I keep asking myself, what are they doing in training that they're not even doing on the pitch? What's going on?
Okay, you see that part to that. I feel of these players are not. Why is this thing echoing? I don't know. I feel these players are how do I put it for you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good. I'll use that your word. Like they play lackluster, and then they are playing as if there is no how do I put it, ginger in their game.
Nothing at all, nothing, no desire.
Yes. See, Lampard has his blame.
For me, I don't know what to say. For me, I don't know. Let me
Lampard
come
has
to
his
the
blame, but
wait, can you hear me?
let me finish what I'm saying.
Can you hear me?
Deloye.
Yeah, how you doing? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Deloye is not saying anything. Wait, can I continue what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can continue. I think it's not. I can't even hear him.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah, I can hear you.
Who is this talking?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So after watching the game today, I feel like ranting, but I'm not going to rant.
You don't
I
need
don't
to
think
rant
I'm
because
Lampard out.
you told me to trust the process. You told me to trust the process, and I've been telling you from day one. I'm not trusting any process. When I know Roman is my owner, I'm not trusting any
What did you
process.
say?
As long as Abramovich is the owner, I'm not trusting any process. I'm not.
Wait. I don't think I'm Lampard out yet fully. I don't know what
I am Lampard
the
out
main
from day
problem
one.
is, but I don't think it's not a coincidence that he beats all the top 6 or top 8 at least once or twice in the league last season. You get.
Mm-hmm.
So today's game, he missed it. Apart from the fact that a lot of his key players in what he wants to do really had a bad game. He missed part of it. They were able to play through the middle because of our pressing, which was not really good. Then Chilwell and Reece James really had bad games. After didn't settle into the game fast enough, whenever he received the ball on the half turn, his control was either bad or something like that. Then Pulisic wasn't that bad, but he could have, if he had tugged in earlier and asked for the ball earlier in the beginning of the first half, and
Mm-hmm.
from first minute to like 25th, 30th minute, we would have done
Yeah.
more damage. Then the last thing I always say, luck. No matter how good you are, you still need luck. We had a close and offside. I didn't feel that good. I was ruled offside. It wasn't offside to me. I feel it was a goal. Are you guys hearing me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel it was a goal.
I think
Then
it's been confirmed now that Thomas Tuchel
so
will take over. We take over Lampard, guys. I think it's been confirmed already. Niza just
even
confirmed it.
if
Niza just
we are
confirmed
playing
it.
bad, at least have some luck with you. Today, some things weren't just going our way. Then the biggest issue in the squad is still a DM, and we should have resolved that as early as last summer. This is already almost January 20 or something, and we've not even said let us have someone to just stay there. We should just plaster the place with something okay, something close before we even to manage to get somewhere. Jorginho won't do it there. Kante can still try, but in as much Kante is there, it affects our build up.
Mm-hmm.
It
I can
affects
hear
our
you. Go ahead.
build-up. Then
Hmm?
Jorginho won't do it there. What he tried today, Kovacic and Mount as pivots. It is good moving the ball forward. We were playing in between the lines. Today, I was even surprised. We were giving more between the lines passes. But defensively, they were not there, especially Kovacic.
Why the Lampard switch the formation? Zuma was playing very well. Why do you change him to Rudiger? Rudiger is class A break. Why? Why?
You need to know something. You guys don't rate Rudiger enough, and
I don't rate him
that's
Rudiger because he makes tons mistake. He makes a lot of mistake. A lot.
wait that's really unfair. You need to go back and remember Rudiger when Sarri was the coach. Rudiger was good, and that was his first season. He did well for Roma. Then he
Mm-hmm.
came in Sarri's first. He did well for Roma. Then he came Conte. Then the whole Conte season was down, but Rudiger wasn't bad. Rudiger was good in that last Conte season. Sarri came. Rudiger had a good season. Then he got injured. Then when he came back from injury, he started performing poorly. I think that injury set him back. But when we are talking about centre backs in that team, nobody passes better than Rudiger apart from the Thiago Silva. That let's start from there. Nobody passes better apart from Thiago Silva among all our centre
Mm-hmm.
backs. That is one. Two,
Mm-hmm.
nobody is faster than him apart from maybe Tomori.
Yep.
Or he might be the fastest centre back. That's another.
Yep.
Three,
And it's been sold to AC Milan.
three,
Imagine.
eh?
And it's been sold to AC
Three.
Milan.
Wait, Tomori's case is
Tomori.
different. Calm down. Three, I'm telling. Three,
Okay.
Rudiger's experience. That's one.
Okay.
And aerially is also good. So when you look at these things, you notice that the major aspects, the only reason why Zuma was starting ahead of Rudiger because
Mm-hmm.
Zuma is a better defender naturally. Yes, and Rudiger was off form because of his injuries. But now he's looking back to his best. Since he started playing
Mm-hmm.
regularly now, how many mistakes have you seen? And the
He made a
funny thing
mistake today.
is,
For
Zuma
the
is
second
even
goal, he made a
above his
mistake today. No,
mistakes. When
Rudiger made a mistake today for the second goal. For the second goal, it was class A because Kai Havertz was already about to knock the
what?
ball hard. Why do you come at the center back? Why do you come out? And you came out, you can't even hold on to Jamie Vardy and you were pushing the player in the box it in. And I don't understand Lampard's his positioning,
Is
I
it the
don't know.
second goal? The
Now, yeah, the
second
second
goal.
goal. Second goal. Yeah,
Yeah, it
second
was
goal.
the
The
second
second
goal.
goal was not
Rudiger.
Rudiger's fault.
Rudiger
It was
was
It was
Rudiger.
Rhys James.
Rudiger and Silva went for the same player at the same
No,
time.
and Kai Havertz.
Rudiger
It
went
wasn't.
for
The second goal,
Kai Havertz.
that Madison
You know,
scored.
you know the funny thing about this thing. You guys slate Lampard for this thing, especially you. You say, Kai Havertz has not been used in his best position. Kai Havertz has not been used in his best against Morecambe in the FA Cup. He played well. He played 8. Today, they played him as 10. He
How
played
can you be
worse.
comparing? You see, sorry to cut you short, but I don't understand when you people use that
So
game as an example.
sometimes
You can't say he played
sometimes it's
well.
not
The
even
standard
about the
was low.
coach.
They didn't buy him for that standard. You can't measure. You
So,
can't appraise him based on that standard. If you say he played well in that game, then he comes to the standard where he should be playing, and
sometimes
he's
it's not
playing
even
poorly.
about the coach.
Simple. He's poor. He's bad. Simple.
These guys need to take
Let me hear that.
responsibility.
Let me hear that, guys.
How
Let me
can
hear
you
Bali.
carry a kid that's supposed to be in how do they say it, in primary 6, and you give him
Mm-hmm.
a test of primary 3 and he does well in primary 3, and you come and say he's good? He is bad. It's simple. Don't measure him. Don't appraise him based on that game. I don't understand. The guy has been bad. He has been bad.
So let me come to my Bali now. Your take on this match. Who do you put the blame on? Are you Lampard or Lampard at first?
Well, I don't want to. Well, where I stand right now, so I can't really say. But whatever the board and Roma Abramovich decide, 100% what behind it. So, and we are getting a manager. I don't think we can get to this January. So,
I think Tuchel is, based
we
on the
can't
report
get
I'm hearing,
we can't get
Nizar
him
said,
now. We can't get him this January. So maybe
Why
end of
can't
the
we get
season.
him? Why can't we get
why
him
can't
before
you get
then?
Tuchel? Why?
There are a lot of stuff behind all this issue and all that. So I don't think it's reward to be
No,
possible. I'm more
tell us the thing. Why you say why can't what are the stuffs? Tell us why can't he get, I mean
well,
even
it's
Jose
possible and
Mourinho was
it is not
doesn't meet
possible.
middle of the
So
season.
I'll prefer to come in end of the season so you can what you can have a preseason what with the guys and what and all that. This January I don't think it will be possible. So I don't know the get together what we are going to get. I'm seeing Shevchenko and all that. I don't know much about Shevchenko and all that. So I don't know. I think we have to stick with Lampard for now and see maybe he can turn things around and all that. And
Vale,
about
you just said something about turning things around. My heart just got broken. This Lampard himself knows the expectation of Chelsea. He knows. But
yeah,
now he knows
yeah,
the expectation of Chelsea, but he's
yeah.
not doing it.
Chief Lampard himself know everything about Chelsea and all this and all that. You know about the player and what
Mm-hmm.
he's facing and all that. So we should be telling him that, and about how Chelsea works and all that. So the board has tried. They have given him enough chance and all that. So enough time to work to implement his fucking idea. I don't know what idea what he's trying to what implement and all that. So and tonight is just I don't know the height of it is what I can't find the right word to to describe it. We are fucking what awful. So
The F word.
The F word plays, guys. Be careful.
yeah,
Make it to not go ban me. Make it go ban me. I beg.
sorry about that. Sorry about
It's
that.
okay, it's okay, it's okay.
Sorry about that. So I don't know. And about Calvert, we should give him time. He will pop up way so I don't have problem with him. And I think maybe if you change our formation to what to 4-2-3-1, I don't know, maybe it was that's a favorite formation for all Croatia. So I don't know. Everything is down to what down to Lampard. I'm not the coach. I'm not the what assistant coach also.
Mm-hmm.
And tonight he played well and all that. So there's improvements and all that. So that's what I have to say about this about tonight.
Okay, let me come to my Velos now. My Velos. Lampard in or Lampard out.
Based on the results, based on the performances, and how it appears that our team is regressing, I am
Mm-hmm.
Lampard out. I already, said before that I think, regardless of what happens, come
Mm-hmm.
the end of the season, he will be let go of. But based on the performance in this game and just the last two Premier League games, the Manchester City game, even
Mm-hmm.
more, I think before the end of January, he'll be sacked and a new manager will come in to help us prepare for the Champions League game and to help us make top four, if that is possible.
Offside. Lampard in or Lampard out.
Wait, let me just say one more thing. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I think, with the whole question of are the players good enough, Kai Havertz, the positioning, when people
Mm-hmm.
bring up the Morecambe game, that shouldn't be used as the litmus test. Morecambe is a lower league opposition. We should be wiping the floor with them, with our players like Gilmore, players from the academy. We should be resting players against Morecambe. The reason why
Mm-hmm.
Lampard started a full strength team was to build confidence. And they won 4-0, but unfortunately, the psychological boost that they got from that game has not carried over. When people talk about Kai Havertz and Verna and Ziyech, Ziyech, when he first would come into the team, when he had just signed, actually had good performances up
Yeah.
until that injury. When he had that
Mm-hmm.
injury, I don't know if he was rushed or if he's still battling that injury, but we're not aware of it. It could be that he hasn't fully healed and he's still not 100%. With Havertz, Lampard
Mm-hmm.
has just played him all over the place and has not played him in one position consistently enough for him to build any form of confidence. He starts in the 10 today, then he starts at the 8, then he starts at the 6, then he's on the wing. The kid is young, he's still developing. Put him in one position, let him build some sort of rapport with the players
Mm-hmm.
around him. With Werner, I just personally think, 2 weeks ago I would have said, don't start him and bring him on off the bench. But
Yeah.
now I think, don't even bring him off the bench. Just don't start him, bench him, let him look at the game from a different perspective for 2, 3
Mm-hmm.
games, and then put him back in. The whole thing of playing him on the wing does not work. Put Giroud up top or put a physical striker up top and play Werner around that striker. So
Guys,
Werner
marvelous. Wait. I just
that
listened to
striker.
Frank Lampard post match now, and I'm already. I'm. He needs to go tonight. He did the same thing against us now. Now he's blaming those players that they don't run, they don't sprint, they don't do the basic. Who is the manager of Chelsea Football Club? Frank Lampard. What are you telling them in the training ground? Don't come here and give me an excuse and telling me they don't run, they don't sprint, they don't do the basic. What is their job as a manager? It's their job to tell them what to do. If they're
How
not doing it right, take them and put the right player in. That's gonna do what you
when
want him to do.
when
Don't come
when
and give me an excuse.
when Lampard makes comments such as it's the players' fault or the players were lazy, what he's actually trying to do is he's relying on the fact that a lot of the Chelsea fan base supports him and will take his word because he's a legend of the football club. The thing is, you can only do that so many times until people start to not fall for your deceit.
Mm-hmm.
Like at some point, the question becomes you're the manager. They play according to your instructions. Now, if you
Mm-hmm.
say they're not taking your instructions, why is it that you're unable to motivate them? And if
Mm-hmm.
you guys remember, the whole thing about Chelsea being a hard club to motivate has always been an issue. Mourinho said that in his second term. Conte said it. Sarri said it. That
Mm-hmm.
the bunch of players that Chelsea have, the culture around our club, it's very hard to motivate our players. Whatever the reason that is, that's an issue that has to be addressed from the board down. Because let's say that is a real issue and we struggle psychologically with motivation, the next manager and the next manager after that is going to have to deal with that at some point. I say all that to say I think Lampard will leave before the end of January.
Guys,
He
I just saw
needs,
the news.
he needs
Let
to
me
go
bring out the news to
develop.
you guys. Let me bring out
He
the
needs
news to
to
you
go
guys.
develop and perhaps come back in the future if he wants to.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, guys. I think I'm saying the news that the Chelsea board are more than enough disappointed for Frank Lampard. So does that mean the sacking is coming in the way or no? Because Fabrizio Romano just tweeted it and said the Chelsea board are disappointed with the performance of the players. Overall disappointment. So is that
The
one
question is
literally saying
is it after this game that they
after this?
became disappointed? One thing we should also be careful. We should be careful of reacting to rumors. It's not just everything
Mm,
that comes out there on the internet that is actually real news. I think it's a little bit too soon to for that kind of statement
mm-hmm.
um to be coming out. There was a
I
time
think,
that the last time we talked, there was news about Avram Grant. Avram Grant categorically came out and denied it. So we should be
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
careful about reacting to um fake news or rumors
I think,
as if to
I
say they
think.
are actually yes. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Marvelous, go for it. Mm-hmm.
Hold on, my phone is ringing.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Okay, just while he's on that, let me just say I totally agree with Marvelous what he said earlier about
Mm-hmm.
Havertz and the game, the FA Cup game. Should appraise first team players, these key first team players based on that standard. That's not their level. That's not the level they're expected to be in. If not, Chelsea may as well go to the club and sign players. Something else he also said I agree with was when he talked about, I think, what was it, Kai Havertz or
Yeah.
Werner. Letting him not even be on the bench, just let him watch as a fan and analyze the game. You don't have to be in
Yeah.
a hurry to introduce him to try to change, to try to turn things around and change the game and stuff. Let him watch it from the eyes and the perspective of a fan, just the same way we watch it, and maybe he will begin to see things better. The same way fans are seeing things. With regards to Lampard again, we are talking about end of January. If
January.
after this game, remember we struggled against Fulham, despite Fulham getting a red card. Now, if I don't even think that we needed this game, to make the decision on Lampard. Lampard was already gone, in my opinion, before this game. Now, if this game, even in this game, he couldn't turn things around, I don't know what other game we'll have to wait for. If in the next game he goes into the next game and he wins it still does not show that he's good enough. Because the problem we're seeing with Chelsea is not just about the odd goal, it's not just about winning the game, it's everything. It's a holistic problem, from the selections. I don't know what they do in the training ground, motivation. It's a huge problem, and I don't think it will change until the management changes. You watch Lampard, his in-game management is bad. He does not say anything. He just stands on the sideline there. He's just watching the game. Substitutions come late, and even when substitutions come late, you don't see any impact these new players are supposed to create. Marvelous said something also earlier where he talks about Conte and Sarri's making reference to the mentality in the club. But then again, the bulk of the players that were at the club at the time have changed. Then we used to talk about Willian, talk about Pedro, talk about Hazard. These players, most of them have left the club, and these ones are mostly new players. So what exactly is going wrong? If a player like Lampard that was at the center of the club when the club was successful the most cannot change and bring in that same mentality that Chelsea had at the time, to imbibe it into these young players, who else can bring the mentality? That's the question. That's what I don't understand. It is down to his coaching. It has nothing to do with the players.
Yeah.
Ziyech was
Okay.
very good at the beginning of the season. Sorry, let me just say this last part.
Let
Ziyech was
let
very
let,
good.
let her finish.
Mosquera was doing well. And suddenly, they've been integrated fully into the squad and they're not doing well anymore. It's the manager. It's the manager.
Also, Marvelous wanted to say something.
Yeah. Can you just remind me of what you were saying before I said my phone was ringing?
You were talking about the Chelsea mentality under Antonio Conte and the other managers.
Yeah. So that's why. Can you show the names, because I'm
Okay,
looking
okay, okay,
at
okay, okay.
Okay, so Offside just made a great point about the players that were there at that time already being there. And that even more so makes it a point to where I think it's the culture at the club. So it's not just limited to a group of players at any given time. It has to be a culture that comes from the board through the manager and then comes down to the players. Because the question has to be asked, if world-class managers could not motivate players at a football club, what made the board think that a manager with not so much experience could do it? And then on the point of Lampard's experience, he's not the one that will take us out of this rut that we're currently in. Why? Because he's never done it before. He hasn't had an experience like this where results were going against him, form was going against him, players are rumored to be going against him, and he turned it around. He hasn't had that experience. He's literally learning on the job. And I think the point I was trying to make was this, with Offside talking about false rumors and reactionary news. I think there are the Avram Grant report. The thing about linking Avram Grant to Chelsea was started by fans as a joke, to where they were saying, "Oh, are we gonna go get Gus Hiddink and Avram Grant again?" I think that was a joke. But there are three reporters on Twitter that when they talk about Chelsea-related rumors or any football-related rumors, I think you have to mute like people that aren't speaking.
Oh, okay. You're speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You can talk now.
Liam Twomey, Simon Johnson, and Fabrizio Romano. They have
Mm-hmm.
enough inside knowledge, and they work with Chelsea in a journalistic rapport,
The
to where they have
report.
a
Mm-hmm.
good gauge when they put out information. And what Fabrizio
Mm-hmm.
Romano said was that the Chelsea board is more disappointed. So they were always disappointed. And that's what made
Mm-hmm.
me think, irregardless, he was going to be let go of this season. You
Mm.
know, he's proven that he doesn't know what he is doing. The constant formation changes, substitutions that don't make sense, putting out teams that aren't balanced, dropping players for no just cause. Even when Deloye was making the point about Rudiger and talking about how we slate the players or certain players, Rudiger has been subpar. He was at fault for that second goal because
Yeah,
Thiago
it
Silva
was
had committed and there was no need for Rudiger to commit.
to
But
come
things
out.
like
Yeah.
that only happen when players are low on confidence, in poor form, and they're trying to prove a point. So they
Mm-hmm.
overdo things. They either overdo things or they don't do anything at all. And they start to overthink things. I feel as, where is Giroud? What happened to Giroud? He wasn't
No,
even
it was injured. It was injured. They
okay.
said it was
Okay, I
injured.
didn't know. I
It
didn't
was
know he
injured.
was injured, but it's just a lot of these decisions are just, they just don't make any sense. They just point to a lack of direction. They point to a lack of experience. They point to a person who's making decisions based on ego, as opposed to, you know, as opposed to what merit, as opposed to what should happen. And like for example, Gilmore. And this was a point I should have made on the pre-match stream, but it slipped my mind. A player like
Mm-hmm.
Gilmore, who you take from PL2, Premier League 2, second division of Chelsea, developing squad. You take him out from there where he was getting consistent game time and developing,
Yeah.
which is why you noticed him in the first place. If you pluck
Mm-hmm.
him from the youth system, why aren't you even bringing him on late so he's getting some play time and some
Mm-hmm.
experience? So even if we're losing, he's still learning, he's still benefiting. So you pluck him from a system where he's getting regular game time and you put him on the
Yeah.
bench. And not only do you put him on the bench, it's not as if he's on the bench and he's watching us play beautiful or watching us play average and we win games. He's watching us play horribly and he's watching us lose games. That's even more damning for his confidence and it's stunting his development. So Lampard is making a lot of questionable choices that, when I reflect, being a Chelsea fan, I'm a longtime Chelsea fan, I ask myself, would a more experienced manager make these decisions? And the answer is no.
No.
Brendan
No.
Rodgers Brendan Rodgers is a coach and a manager that was at Chelsea. He used to coach either the second team or the youth team, one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason, if you guys ever look into it, you guys can look into it now. They say the
Mm-hmm.
only reason why they will never give him the job as Chelsea manager is because when he managed Liverpool, he said that when you can't really compare a club like Chelsea to Liverpool because Liverpool is a legendary club, and apparently that pissed off Roman, so he will never get the Chelsea job. But I say that to say they met today, and you just saw one manager was in a totally different class. One manager
Mm-hmm.
seemed to be more involved. When the decisions went to VAR, Brendan Rodgers cared. He would go look in the monitors that the managers are provided with. Frank Lampard never bothers. He only speaks and tries to motivate players when things are going good. I don't know if he's doing that to make himself look good because he knows the camera is going to be panning to him. But when we're losing and we need him the most, he can't even use the whole thing of the language barrier to say that players wouldn't hear him. Majority of the players he picked, they speak English. When we need
Yeah.
him to be vocal and to motivate them or for him to make tactical changes, he doesn't do
Mm-hmm.
anything. And if there was a rift in the dressing room before and he comes out and makes the comments that he's making now, blaming the players, you can only imagine how much bigger that rift has become. We're in a bad situation, and whomever the next manager is, they're already at a disadvantage because they have to remotivate these players. They have to figure
Mm-hmm.
out a system that will work, and they just
Yeah.
have to like pick up the pieces. The longer
Mm-hmm.
Frank Lampard stays at the helm, the more he sabotages the position for whomever's to come.
So let me come to Niangi now. I've spoken about you before you came in. I was like, you have been telling me Lampard in, Lampard in. Now it's time to be truthful. The reality has come now. For me, everybody knows my point, my standpoint on Lampard from day one. Is Lampard out? Chelsea Football Club is big. It's too big for Lampard. It's way too big for Lampard. So I'm not gonna trust a process in which for me I don't see a progression. When Lampard says something, it does not back his word up. That pisses me off a lot. Player plays based on merit. Cho has not been given time. Whenever it was that guy give time, the following matches he doesn't play well, he put him on the bench. Tomori is the best in that Chelsea defender for me. He's far better player than Christensen, far better player than Antonio Rudiger. But that those two make mistake week in, week out, week in, week out. Lampard keep playing there. Tomori made only one mistake. Lampard ship him out of the team. So what is that telling me? Do I even have the trust in the manager? No. AC Milan came for me, man. Like, I need this player, and they're going for with option to buy for 30 million. Go. Don't ever step your foot in Chelsea Football Club again. Just go. Because that club doesn't fit you anymore. So for me, I'm not even supported anymore. It has come to a stage that I'm just gonna be like, okay, it's what it is. I have given up. Because if I start ranting, we won't live here 3 hours. We will not live here. So I don't want to start ranting. I'll just give up. I don't know what it is. I just give up. So you can go for it now. So Yankee, you can go for it.
Where do I start from? Okay, can you guys hear me?
We can hear you speak. We can hear you. Damien, Lampard is not staying. Please, he's not staying. No, no, no. What? No. He has to go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. Yeah. Your mic is cutting in and cutting off. I don't know what's going on. It's kind of breaking, kind of coming in, coming out, coming in, coming out, coming in,
I'm good
coming out.
now. Can you hear
Yeah,
me now?
yeah. So we can hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So at least most of us have been supporting Chelsea long enough. So I saw this game this evening, and all I can say is Lampard is having a taste of his own medicine. If we all can remember 2012, the Champions League, there was a sabotage in the team where players down tools, and we all knew the main culprits. In fact, the three people that handled that whole issue at that point in time, it was between Lampard, Drogba, and Terry.
Yeah.
What they forgot that time was that they were players then. Someday they would become managers.
Yeah.
Today, Lampard is a manager, and what I saw today was a group of young players who have decided not to play for him again.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he likes it or not, from what I saw today, there is absolutely nothing Lampard can do to bring back this team to play good football. Because, I mean, like this guy said it, every single game that keeps coming up is digging a pit for the next manager that is coming in. But here's the thing,
Yeah.
I tell you this thing, players can be very, very deceiving. I'll tell you this for a fact. If Allegri takes over this team tonight, you will see a different brand of football by weekend.
Yeah.
You would see total commitment from this same group of. These are the same set of players that played 17 games unbeaten this same season.
Yeah.
They played 17 games unbeaten. So what happened along the line? Yes, Lampard has his faults. I'm not going to absolve him of any blame. But at the end of the day, these players are the ones on the pitch.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Rudiger. Rudiger is supposed to be a senior player in the team. And he's still making that kind of schoolboy error in 2021.
And people are telling me it's better than Fikayo Tomori. I don't want to hear that anymore. I do not. Please don't bring it out. Don't bring that stand. I don't want to hear any stand at all. Please. That statistic has to be going to the garbage. I beg, I beg, I beg, I beg. You don't tell me it's better than Fikayo
Hakim
Tomori.
Ziyech,
Tomori only made
Hakim
one
Ziyech
mistake,
was the
just one mistake. You chip him out of the team.
Ziyech.
And this guy has been making, how many mistakes he has been making? He keep playing. How?
Ben Chilwell was a solid defender at Leicester City. Very, very good defender. All of a sudden, he's at Chelsea and he can't cross balls again. All of a sudden, he plays forward and he comes back now. Ziyech can't take on defenders again. I mean, can't take on opposition again. Ziyech can't do anything. Timo Werner can't play football again. Havertz don't know how to pass again. All of a sudden, come on, come on, come on. I saw this. I wasn't even disappointed tonight. This is what we call it is finished. There is nothing again. Right now, I can say the only thing still holding Lampard to that team is the whole legendary status and the fact that, okay, majority of the core Chelsea fans still love him. If this was any other manager in Chelsea right now, they would have been sacked at this point in time. They would have been sacked. Because in truth, it's just like, okay, today is another day. Let's just go and try something out. There is zero technical input in that team. Zero. So, Odoi plays well in the last game. Okay, he's on form. Throw him into the pitch. He plays 2 games. Then you throw him out again. Giroud scores 2 goals. Throw him onto the pitch. He doesn't score in the next game. Throw him out again. Hey, this one is on form. Put him on the pitch. He's just doing trial and error, trial and error. What makes him different from me and you that is sitting down and watching? Absolutely no difference. If that is what he's doing, I can also do the same thing. I can put players on the pitch and just tell them to just go and do whatever they want to do on the pitch. You are brought in to bring a technical input into the game. We want to see your technical setup when you are losing the ball, when you are not with the ball, when you are with the ball. What are you doing? Nothing. I've not seen any of those things in this current team. And I had a story that we're planning to bid for Haaland or something. See, even if we bring Messi, Ronaldo, and Neymar into this team, into this present group of team that we had, they will become ordinary. They would become ordinary because Timo Werner is not a bad player. He didn't become a bad player overnight. Harvard did not become a bad player overnight. Even if the league is difficult, you will still see a little glimpse of their performance in each game. Right now, they are all just totally zero. It's really, really unfortunate. I mean, I was watching this game today and I couldn't even, there was nothing to hold on to say, okay, there is hope in this team. Absolutely nothing.
Niangi, it's not even about rant. I've ranted since Arsenal. My rant, for me, I've ranted since Arsenal match. And that rant is totally doing something else to my life already. I don't know what is going on with Chelsea at the moment. I don't know. Because if I rant, we won't finish here 3 hours. So that's I'm just
All of a
at this
sudden,
moment, it's all
is it that
about
Mendy,
I'm not
is it that
giving
Mendy
up
is no
already.
longer is it that Mendy is no longer good?
I don't
Those are the
understand.
things that you look at. You brought in players, and all of a sudden, all of them have down tools. Nobody knows how to do anything again. Come on.
I don't know. So are you Lampard in or Lampard out?
Unfortunately, this is football, and when things are not going your way, the manager has to take the blame. And like I
Oh,
started my sermon with, he was a victim of this. So yes, he has to
so it's like karma. It's like karma. Whatever you do for the person go do it back to you, right? It's karma now. So karma is appearing to Lampard. Oh wow, that's beautiful. Hmm.
Not only is it karma, but it also is when you look at it from a broad perspective. I think Lampard, there's a problem with how Lampard tries to encourage and how he tries to coach these players. That something is getting lost in translation somehow. Because if David Luiz had an issue with you, a senior player had an issue with you, and you guys had a falling out, and he got sold to Arsenal, then if a middle-aged player, so Marcus Alonso, 29, he had a falling out with you over criticism, and we don't even know if Marcus Alonso is alive. Like we don't. I haven't even seen Marcus Alonso. I haven't seen a picture, anything of him. If I didn't have Instagram or Chelsea behind the scenes on YouTube, I wouldn't know that Marcus Alonso is alive. We haven't heard a word. And then there's a junior player, Tomori, who's a younger player, and it appears with him going to AC Milan with them having an option to buy, it appears that there's a falling out. There's a disagreement over his future. And when you come out in the press and you say Tomori needs to work on his personal, that word personal is key for me because it tells that your issue with him isn't over football. It's a personal thing. You feel as though players need to be subservient to you, like the players can't have an opinion. It's very, very telling because usually it comes across as a person who's making decisions from their ego. Like I told you in the pre-match, if you're making decisions with your ego, you're not Sir Alex. You're not Jose Mourinho. You're not a manager who's accomplished things beyond all reasonable doubt. So where players can just acquiesce and say, well, it's Sir Alex. Well, it's Mourinho. You're a person who took Derby from sixth place to sixth place. You know, a lot of people say he did great at Derby. He took them to the playoffs, and their league position was the same regardless. So, you know, like Miyangi just said, players can be deceiving. It can as well be possible that these players, for whatever reason, they've just come to the collective agreement that, okay, this is going nowhere fast. So let's just, rather than play well and continue with a manager that we don't believe in and a manager that does not believe in us, let's just down tools. And it's karmic because Frank Lampard, Terry, you know, they did that. Not only, this is another thing. A lot of people think they only did that to Villa's boss. They also did that to Felipe Scolari, if you guys remember.
Yeah, they did that. Yeah, I could remember. I can.
They were also reputable rumors that they also did it to other managers. Di Matteo also, but those were never confirmed. So it's kind of karmic that the players that Lampard signed himself will be his undoing. And a lot of these issues, I would not be surprised if there was a wiretap in the Chelsea locker room. I would not be surprised if a lot of these issues stem from players approaching him and saying, "Why are you using me out of position?" It's almost like Lampard has, in larger words, they would say like dysmorphia. He has like an image dysmorphia. He thinks he's like greater than who he actually is. He thinks he's like Pep, like a savant that can play players anyhow and still have a philosophy where, irregardless of where the player plays, they will still work well. But the thing is, he doesn't have a defined philosophy to where he can do that. So he has to do the basics. Ask these players, where do you feel most comfortable playing? Put them there. If Giroud is scoring and he doesn't score in one game, that doesn't mean exile him from the team. You keep the faith with certain players. Because let's say like, oh, you're saying, oh no, I'm rotating. I'm trying to keep everyone happy. What that tells the players on the bench is, listen, even though he's saying he's rotating and he's trying to keep everyone happy, when I get in form, if I have a game that I don't score, he's going to drop me too. So the player that you think you're trying to keep happy is also seeing how you're treating the next players. And naturally, players will back each other before they set out and back a manager. Unless it's like a player like Mason Mount that you've handpicked as your favorite. Then maybe he will back you before he backs the players. But naturally, players will defend each other and talk to each other and be closer with each other before they will be closer to you. You know, just as you're quick to criticize the players, they are also criticizing you in their own social circles.
Yeah.
So I don't understand it. For especially, you see, it would be one thing if Frank Lampard was never a player. I would say, okay, he doesn't know these things. But for a person that was a player, how can you be so aloof? Like, why are you acting as if, why are you being so naive and pretentious to act as if you don't know what's going on? You know what's going on, but unfortunately, you're not experienced enough to solve the problem. So you have to do the honorable thing and step aside. John Terry and Drogba were both approached for this exact job, and they
Yep,
both
they turn it
said,
down.
"We do not
No.
have the experience. We're not as experienced. We haven't done anything as managers to qualify for this position." Gerrard was approached for the Liverpool assistant role, and he even said, "As an assistant, I cannot be an assistant because I haven't learned anything." So that again is another ego-driven decision. The only reason Lampard is a Chelsea manager is because of his ego, you know. And I hate to admit this, but HH was also right. HH said, a lot of people applaud Lampard for what he did last season coming fourth, and they say he overachieved. And but the reason he was able to come fourth is because he had limited options. So he had to
Yeah.
figure out a starting 11 and stick with it. His biggest blessing has turned out to be his biggest curse. Him having the money to handpick players that he wants. And now he has a bunch of players that are very versatile and can play in every position. So he just thinks he can experiment. Every match is a new experiment. And like I said to you in the pre-match,
Yeah.
just because a center midfielder can play as a left winger doesn't mean you should play them there. They can play there if it was like a situation where you had no wingers, where people were injured and you just had to
Mhm.
put like a makeshift team. Then you can
Yeah.
start to play players in their secondary position. It's like okay, you know how people joke and they say Frank Lampard plays FIFA. That's why he
Yeah.
thinks he's playing FIFA career mode. Even on FIFA, if you put a player in their primary position, their overall is the highest. When you move them to
Yeah.
their secondary position that they can also play, their overall drops, even though they
They'll
can
drop.
still
Yeah.
play there.
But it's drop.
It's
Yeah.
the same in real life.
The chemistry. Yeah.
Just because a right back can play as a right winger doesn't mean you should play them as a right winger. They're not going to be
Yeah.
as efficient. So when
That's
I
true.
turn on the TV and I see Werner and Kai Havertz running around on the wing, I'm like, what is really going on?
Uh, Vale, do you have anything to touch on this? Because at this moment, it's not about ranting, it's about just giving up. Like Lampard and Chelsea matter don't tire me. I don't know what to say anymore. Vale, do you have anything to say to touch on it? I think he muted himself. Let me come to offside. Offside. Going forward now, what do we do? Because at this moment, I'm just giving up. Is like I don't know. I don't know what to put it. I'm just kind of giving up. So what do we do? Give me some positivity offside. I don't know. For me right
What
now, I'm just down. I'm down.
what do we do? What we do is the same thing I said earlier. We have to start by getting rid of Lampard. And getting in a manager that can actually boost the confidence of these players. Some of these players are experienced and have been very successful elsewhere. Putting a manager like Lampard that is not very experienced. Some of them are more experienced than him, as they've not
Mhm.
he's as since he became a manager. Sorry,
Yeah.
so they need a manager that is experienced, someone they can believe in, they can trust in. Because the
That's why I
players
go
are
for
also the
Allegri. I
players
go for
the
Allegri,
players
but people are bashing on me.
that's
I don't know why.
the players are also seeing these problems that fans are seeing. And
Yeah.
I'm sure in their heads they'll be wondering, but they can't question the manager. You get me? So all these things are part of the things that affect the eventual performance and results of the side. What should be done now? Get rid of Lampard. He does not need an extra game. He does not need an extra 45 minutes for you to decide. Lampard is out of his depth. It's not just a fallout of a single game. It's a fallout of previous games, including games from last season. It's some people may say, yeah, he punched above his weight. He did well with the side last season, stabilized the side with the team with young players and all that. But this season he doesn't have it to give, and it's up to Chelsea. The onus is on Chelsea board to lift that burden of expectation from him. He just does not have it to give. Get rid of Lampard, get a proper experienced manager that can make use of the talented players we have in the side to give us good football and good results. That's the way forward. And in my opinion, should be handed his P45 tomorrow.
Wow. Everybody is coming to my issue. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, God. Lampard out. Let it keep trending, I beg. Lampard out. Let it keep trending. Lampard out, I beg. Lampard out, I beg. I beg. Vale, you want to chip in something? Are you still Lampard in and Lampard out? Or like, give me positivity. Because at this moment, I'm not even giving up. I just kind of, it's all about fed up. It's about fed up. Fed up. So, Bala, are you there? I think he's muted. Let me unmute him.
Yeah,
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you
Oh,
loud and
okay.
clear.
Give me some positivity. For me, it's not about fed up. I just don't know what to say anymore. I do not know what to say. I don't want to rant. I just don't know what to say.
Yeah, I get you, and I get Marvelous and Miyagi point and all that. So honestly, I don't know what to say. That will change their opinion on that. Number one, which manager is even available right now that you can get this January and what? Aside Tuchel.
Thomas Tuchel and Massimiliano Allegri is available.
Aside Tuchel. No, I don't want Allegri. No.
I want Allegri. I want a winner. I don't want Tuchel for me. I want Allegri. I've been singing Allegri from day one.
I know he's a serious winner, but no. We can do better. So which other manager is available at the moment? Aside Tuchel.
I don't know of anybody from my, but the only two one I know is Allegri and Thomas Tuchel.
You know, it's one thing to say I don't like, but there's another thing to look at. You look at the people that have been reportedly been shortlisted, reportedly tentatively, even though it's not official. Because of when you say you don't like this person, you don't want this person, it's not about what we want, it's about what the board wants. And these are
exactly.
if the board could afford to appoint Lampard, there's no reason whatsoever why they can't appoint any of these other managers. They are more established in the game as managers than he. They performed better than him as managers, so they are obviously better than him. And
wait, hold up. Get my point.
For me, Allegri is my first choice, though.
Allegri will do a knockout, but I don't think it's the right manager to take us forward. That's just it. So my first choice is always Thomas Tuchel. So Allegri is no for me. It's no for me. And moreover, he has been out of job for what? Almost, I think 2 to 3 years. I think 2 to 3 years now. So it's a no for me. So I prefer we should wait to end of the season and get to.
I can't wait for the end of the season because the result will not change. This will not change. You will keep continuing. I'm not waiting for the end of the season. I'm not.
We can get a caretaker. I mean, interim manager. So I don't
like who? Interim manager like who?
I saw Shevchenko right now on Twitter. I mean, not quite long. I saw Shevchenko, so I don't know how good Shevchenko is.
I don't want a medical manager in my team. I want someone who actually knows how to win. Someone who have tasted success before. Allegri is a winner. Either you like it or not, that guy will come in and win, and he's still winning success. I want my Chelsea back. 23, 4, 5, 6. I want my Chelsea back. This Chelsea team here, and I don't know.
Allegri might come here and I have the same issue like Antonio Conte and others. So Italian manager are very stubborn and rigid with their practice and all that. So Allegri is no more for me. Even Tuchel has his own issue also, but I still prefer him to Allegri.
I think you said something about Antonio Conte.
Yeah.
You said Allegri has the same. It's gonna have the same problem with Antonio Conte as with Chelsea.
So are you trying to say Antonio Conte was not good for Chelsea?
Wait, don't get me wrong. Antonio Conte is a good manager, a world-class manager, and all that. So, should I say his vision is? I mean, vision for us is something else, something I can't comprehend, and all that. Yeah.
Vision.
I mean, his target and all that. So
he won the title. He won the Premier League.
Ballet.
Hold on. What target are you talking about?
Let me just tell you guys something really quick that always comes to my mind when I think about Conte and his time.
Okay.
He wasn't properly backed by the board. We always have to bear that in mind. So for him to have
we
won
we
us a Premier League in his first
Mm-hmm.
season and then an FA Cup in the season where the players underperformed. He overachieved in my eyes. Had he been backed by the board, we would have Barella in our team, who Conte wanted, who's currently balling out in the Serie A. We would have Lukaku, who's currently balling out in the Serie A,
right.
but he wasn't properly backed. They gave him Bakayoko, who was the C. They didn't give him the B option. They gave him the C option. Then they gave him Morata, who he didn't even want at all. And even under Antonio Conte, when things were bad in his second season, he was still able to motivate the players to some extent to where they
Yeah.
won him a trophy and they finished fifth. So that, in my eyes, even when things are horrible, form is off, at least you have a figure that can move players, that can put ginger, put some fire within the players to make them go out and fight, even if they're going to lose. I don't know if you guys remember that game that we lost 1-0 to City in the second season that people labeled as anti-football.
Yeah. Yeah.
Say
Pragmatic
Chelsea,
football. I remember.
yeah, we had
Mm-hmm.
like 11 all our players behind the ball. You know, Conte
Yeah.
said after that game, he said, "I'm not stupid." That was the key thing that he said. He said, "I'm in a season where the board did not back me." And this was what started his feud with the ownership and why he was let go. "I'm in a season
Mm-hmm.
where the board did not back me. I don't have the players that I want. I'm having to field players who aren't really fighting for my team. I am
Mm-hmm.
not going to try and go toe to toe to them. I am going to set us up in a way that gives us the best fighting chance." So when we talk about Conte and people say, "Oh, he was a mercenary, he didn't know how to work well," when you hire a manager, you hire their belief, you hire their philosophy, you support them. But unfortunately, he was never supported, so we don't really know what would have happened had he been backed. Imagine if Conte was backed going into that season after we won the Premier League, the way Frank Lampard was just backed. We
Mm-hmm.
may have repeated and won the Premier League again, But time and time again, the Chelsea board has shortcomings, and when they're supposed to support a manager, they don't, and when they're not supposed to support a manager, they do. Sarri won us the Europa League,
Mm-hmm.
and and when before we hired Lampard, when the transfer window first started, he talked about certain players that he wanted, but he wouldn't be able to get because of the transfer ban, and how he
Mm-hmm.
felt it was very difficult for him to motivate that bunch of players. So the board let him go. But had we kept Sarri, let's assume we kept Sarri and we didn't make hypothetically we kept Sarri and we didn't make the Champions League that transfer ban season, at least we would have a young group of players that know his philosophy. With Frank Lampard, we have okay a young group of players, but where's the philosophy? Bale, Miyangi, Abdullahi, offside. You guys cannot tell me Frank Lampard's philosophy because it doesn't exist. He doesn't have one. What he tries to do, like Abdullahi said to me in private, is he tries to like look at other managers and take what he likes from them and tries to mix it all up together. But that's
Copy and
never going
paste. Copy and paste.
to work because you can't have attacking. We attack this way. We defend in a totally different way. We pass in this way, and we're not really ball possession, but we're counter attack. You can't do all of that mixing and matching. You have to pick a style and stick to it. So, like Bale said, Allegri and Italian managers are stubborn. But the thing with Italian managers is if you back them, they will win. If you give them the players that they want, they will win because they're not going to complain. They're going to make it work. Conte's first season, things weren't going his way when he tried to play free flowing attacking football. Arsenal beat us 3-1. He changed to a 3-5-2. He said, "Okay, I tried to give you guys what you guys want. It's not working. Let me go to what I know how to do well." We won a Premier League. If you guys remember, we're the first team. We were the first team to move the bar to where you needed at least 30 wins to be crowned champions. We had 30 wins and like 5 losses. 3 draws. We were the first team before teams would like get like 20 something wins and win the Premier League. We went on that massive unbeaten run after he switched his formation and then he wasn't back. So Italian managers, they may be stubborn, but if you just like show them some sort of support, they will win. You know, Conte was stubborn, so was Sarri, but at least Sarri won us something convincingly. Sarri finished third, not fourth, third. And you know, Liverpool and City were astronomically good in that season. He finished third and convincingly destroyed Arsenal in the Europa League final. So, you know, you're either going to be a winner or a loser. The whole thing that I don't like is how people glamorize top four. When you're a club such as Chelsea, I would say Arsenal, Liverpool, City, even Tottenham, top four should not be celebrated as an accomplishment. It should just be like, okay, we need to build upon this. But, but what I'm starting to see is because there are a group of Chelsea fans. I love Lampard, but there are a group of Chelsea fans who worship Lampard. Which, if you worship Lampard but you're objective, I have no problem with it. But because they worship Lampard, they lose their objectivity and they look at top four as a trophy. Top four is not a trophy. If let's say we stumble and we lose the games that we're losing now and we end up getting top four, Frank Lampard should still leave. He should do the honorable thing and not get sacked. If there were fans in the stadiums, fans going to the stadium, he would be getting booed. He would be getting booed. People, the only reason people can say he would not be getting booed is because they're playing like hypotheticals and people are home and they're on Twitter. He would be getting booed. No fan would invest their money to go to the stadium through cold weather and witness the
Exactly.
performance that we're seeing on TV. And you know, if you know, you guys know they always say this, and if you've gone to see any sporting event in real life, it's always worse in person. So if you see how bad it is on TV, imagine how bad it will be in person.
I don't know what to say, man. Bale, you have anything to, you want to say something?
I think I
Marvelous.
understand it.
Interesting.
Oscar and Yankee, you guys have anything to
Yeah.
say?
I don't know. It just feels like Marvelous just keeps, reminding me of more reasons why I should feel and double down on the way I feel about Lampard right now. When he made reference to Conte and all that. And let's also remember that, unlike what Lampard is doing, which you called copy and paste, as hilarious
Mm-hmm.
as that is, it's pathetic. Um, you remember that when Conte, it was his first season, but there
Mm-hmm.
was a revolution that he literally, when he introduced the wing backs,
Yeah,
the
the
wing
three
back
four three.
style of football,
Offside, wait,
and
wait,
this was
wait. I
something
just
that
say a
other
news now.
coaches now. Hello, what did you say?
Yeah, hold on, hold on. What does crisis talk means? Because I think there was a news coming out that tomorrow there's gonna be a crisis talk for Lampard. What's going on? I don't even understand. What does that mean? I don't know.
Crisis talk basically means like an
Board
emergency
meeting.
meeting,
Yeah.
like an
Board
emergency
meeting.
meeting.
Hey, Roman,
Yeah,
please
I think
travel to London tomorrow. Roman, please, can you come to London tomorrow? I am begging you in the name of God. Roman, come to London tomorrow. Don't let
Yo,
Marina speak. Just tell
Lampard,
Marina, get
Lampard,
out, get out, get
Abdullah,
out.
Abdullah, pull up HH tweet.
I need the woman to pull the trigger. I don't want Marina to talk. Marina is too, she's a lady. I don't want that. I need the woman to hard. I want woman to hard. Woman doesn't care. Woman wants to win. That man is a winner. I need him to win. Roman, can you travel tonight and come to London tomorrow morning? Forget about pandemic, sorry. And put on the mask. This is what I want. Allegri.
they can do
I don't
it.
want Thomas Tuchel.
They can do anything via Zoom and all that. So
So offside, continue. Let me pull out the stuff. Continue. Offside, continue.
Yes, yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, I was just trying to highlight the fact that Conte actually overachieved, to back up Marvelous points. How he revolutionized the whole wing back style of play, playing three central defenders and having wing backs in the side, and other managers, even in other leagues, lower leagues, the women's team, they start replicating, they start copying the same style of football. But if you compare it to what Lampard is doing now, it's literally, there is no identity. So the gap is very wide. And I said this because of what Bale was saying actually earlier. Yes, it's his opinion. Um, but then I think it's a little bit too harsh and unfair to Conte and the Italians. Lampard is not even a match and should not even be put in the same sentence. Now, some other players. Someone was talking about Rudiger earlier, and
I was the one talking about Utica.
yeah,
Class
I
A.
simply have no
That's the
okay. Someone
lay.
said that the
This is
reason Rudiger
HA
played
Tooth.
today that the
Mm-hmm.
reason Rudiger played today was because that Zuma is injured, Zuma is unfit, and this. And I said, first of all, even if let me assume, yeah, Zuma is injured or unfit, that's not even enough justification. And my reaction is not based off of this game only. The fact that Lampard kept Fikayo Tomori off the side
And
and
so
brought
David
back
Luiz.
Rudiger
Abdullah,
shows that he has
refresh
no
on his
idea
page and
whatsoever what
scroll
he's
up.
doing.
Okay. Okay.
He has zero idea what he's doing. He just keeps tinkering, trying things, and his in-game management is bad. I don't know why people are not seeing it. When the game is going on, he just stands by the sideline. He doesn't shout, he doesn't give instructions. Get motivated, motivate the team. Agitate, do something. All those things. If it helps, I know how I used to feel when I used to see Conte or Mourinho on the sideline. Doing certain things. Even Sarri did it.
You
As a
see,
fan, it motivated me. How much more effect will it have on the players? The last 10 minutes to the end of the game, Rudiger, Chilwell, all those ones, they're still passing the ball backwards. How do you expect to score goals?
this is another thing too. The whole thing about um how he motivates players when he's on the touchline. Mourinho said earlier in the season when they met in the Carabao Cup, Mourinho said after the game that he noticed that Frank Lampard motivates players when he shouldn't, and when he should, he doesn't say a word. When our team is winning, Frank Lampard is like egging them on. He's like trying to be vocal. When they're losing and they need him the most, and players seem to not know what direction to move the ball, he's silent. He's quiet. You can hear a needle drop if you're around him. But here's the mistake with that. Managers who are quiet on the touchline, whenever the ball goes out close to where they are and it's a player of theirs that comes to pick it up, they speak to those players quietly. If you're a quiet manager, they do that. Or they'll give a note to a substitute that's coming on if they don't want to be
Mm-hmm.
too vocal. Managers that are
Yep.
quiet have like tactical, nuanced ways that they speak to their team. Zidane is another manager that's quiet. If a player comes
Mm-hmm.
beside him to get water, then he'll speak to them. But Lampard doesn't do that either. So you're not vocal and you don't speak to them quietly. It's like, what are you really doing? You know?
Yeah. Go for it. Go. Continue. Continue. Continue, my brothers.
No. I only said that to
Okay.
Offside's point because I agree with what she's saying about how he doesn't seem to care to motivate them during the game. And if we look at this season objectively, I'm looking at a stat now that says we have won 0 games against the Premier League top 8. Put that to one
Mm.
side. The games that we have won, we should be thankful that we've even won them. Because if we're being objective, we should have way more losses this season. That West Brom game, if not for our pride, the players' pride is what I think saved that result when we were 3-0 down at halftime. That could have been an L. The Sheffield game where we went behind in like the first 5 minutes, I think that was also the players' pride, them not wanting to lose to a team that was dead last in the league. That could have been another loss. And there are other results where we've come back and tied that could have also been losses. So you know how we were joking that Arsenal were like relegation threatened? We could have been relegation threatened, and we still might be if Lampard continues in this run of form.
Oh, so when they talk about crisis now between the board and the manager, what does that mean? I seem to understand the definition of that. Does it mean Lampard is getting sacked before he gets started or not? Because I want to
Crisis
be happy.
crisis tells me that the boat
Crisis
was
talk.
that tells me that the boat was already rocking there was already turmoil behind the scenes. There was already like a break in communication. They were already not seeing eye to eye. And then these recent results and the result today has amplified it even more to where they need an intervention. So I'm expecting with that word crisis talk, I'm expecting there to be an immediate decision after the meeting. You know,
This is
yeah,
HH handout.
yeah,
HH said Abramovich attachment to Lampard is what is keeping him in the job, and we give him time. But how much time?
perfect,
Abramovich, please,
perfect,
I am begging you, sack Lampard, please. I'm begging you. Roman,
perfect.
I'm also begging too. I'm begging you in the name of God. God Almighty, I'm begging you. Can you travel to London tonight? I don't know. Maybe I can go share anywhere. Just travel to London tonight and come tomorrow morning or afternoon and land. Land in London, boom. And don't let Marina talk. Because that Marina lady, I don't trust her that much. You, as the owner, I trust you, Roman. Just come to London and tell Lampard, get the hell out of that club ASAP. This is your check and go.
Okay, this is
Get
perfect.
out.
That first tweet he said about attachment to Lampard. I asked this
Mm-hmm.
question in your pre-match, but because there's more people here in this one, I'll ask it again. What do you guys? Who do you think Abramovich holds closer or dearer to him, Mourinho or Lampard? Abdullah, I already heard your response, but I want
Mm-hmm.
offside, Yangi, and um,
Vale.
I want to hear what they think. Who do you think Abramovich holds closer and dearer to him? Is it Mourinho or Lampard?
Think what?
Let me come. Oh, okay, offside. He said, would you, who hold on to
Because
Abramovich more? Is it
people think
Mourinho
you're
or
talking
Lampard?
about the reason why Lampard hasn't been sacked is because of attachment.
It's freeze. I have to go.
Okay. I think you need to come out and come in there, your mic. Yeah. So go to
Okay,
Niangi now.
Miyangi.
Wow, that's a very, 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 very tough question. A very tough one. I wasn't expecting that type of question. I think, how would I put it? I'm looking for a suitable way to put the answer. Because of issues that has happened over the years, I think he would sway more towards Lampard than Mourinho. Although on the starting years, we all know the love he had for Mourinho. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there's been a break, there's been a double break in that process. Things have happened. Mourinho has moved on. He has said things about the club that he would naturally not say, which
Yeah.
shows that the relationship has broken down over the years. So, judging by that, I can say right now that he would tilt more towards Lampard. And like we all said initially, let's not forget that this is the same crop of players who led the mutiny against the
Mm-hmm.
former coach. There was a rumor at some point in time that they had direct access to Abramovich when they were still playing.
Mm-hmm.
They could go behind the manager to meet Abramovich directly and speak
Mm-hmm.
to him concerning issues in the team. So, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, if you look at all that and put together, then definitely he will tilt more towards Lampard. He loving Lampard more than Mourinho. And I think that is the difficult situation that he has found himself in right now. We all know here right now that if this was another manager in this situation that Chelsea are in right now, they would have been sacked long ago. But because of the love and attachment that he has to Lampard, is in a little bit of a fix right now. I know you are happy. You just want to hear the sack, but I'm sorry to tell you, he's in a fix right now. It's difficult for him to come out and just say, "I want to sack Lampard," because sacking him will mean scattering everything and starting over again. He has done it
No,
before.
no. What you
Let's
are
not
is
get
it
into
should
the
part the way.
twisted.
It should
He
part
has
the way.
done
It should just part the way. It should that the best thing for him to just part the way, please. The more Lampard is in this team, the more the regression in this Chelsea team continue to grow. This team, Lampard talk about confidence. Who is the best player to make this player confidence? Lampard. But what is going on with it? I look at this match today. I was looking at Kai Havertz shaking his head. Akin Ziyech coming and shaking his head. And I was looking at this player. What's going on with this player? But you know the same player that was playing for Lampard in the beginning of the season? Yeah, what's wrong? What's going on?
Thank you.
What exactly is going on?
You saw when Ziyech was shaking his head too.
He was shaking
You
his
saw
head.
when Ziyech was
Kayabas
shaking
was
his
like
head.
this. Kayabas was
It was
shaking. I
at
was
that
like,
point.
how
It
is
was
it
at
like
that
Silva,
this?
point.
Silva was shaking his head at some point.
Silva
It
was doing the same
it
thing. I was
was at
like,
that
what's going
point I
on?
knew that these players. It was at that point I knew these players had given up. When I saw Ziyech, who
What's going
just came
on?
into the team, shaking his head
Shaking his head.
in a game that you are supposed that you are brought in to come and change the situation of the game, and you are the one shaking your head when a Mount has been playing from minute one and is still putting in his best. No, 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 no. And one thing that always happens is when there is a downturn from players, there's always that one player who loves the manager who will still keep playing on well. It always happens. During
Mm-hmm.
AVB period, Ramirez was the one that still kept playing, even when everyone
During
had
my
down tools.
2015 Osemoro, it was William.
It was William, thank you. So that is what is happening now. You can see the face. Mount is the only one playing for the manager because of the England connection and all
Oh well,
whatnot.
on that
Every
salary
other player in that
was
team.
still playing.
What the
Well,
upset say?
Sarri wasn't really. Players didn't drop tool on that Sarri. Actually, they didn't drop tool.
No.
Yeah, I
They were
think
playing
with
for him though.
Sarri, I think they
They
were
were playing
playing
for
for
him.
him, but their abilities just
They were
didn't
playing for him.
fit the style of football that he wanted.
Yes, it didn't
He wasn't
fit
as
him.
Mm-hmm.
technically gifted,
Yes.
but they
Exactly.
still played for him, you know. But yeah,
Okay, so
offside.
what was the question you asked me earlier, Marvelous? Sorry.
The question was, who do you think Roman Abramovich holds closer and dearer to him, Mourinho or Lampard?
Uh, um,
Oh my God. Lampard just said something now. I need to slap Lampard's face. I need to slap his face now. And I'm already getting pissed off.
Abdullah,
I don't want
watch
to
what
rant.
you say. Watch what you say. You're lying.
He said, Chelsea is not a club that is ready to compete. I am done with Lampard. Someone get this guy out of my club. Get him out of my club, please. Get him out. I'm getting angry. What the hell? What? You spent
Sean,
300 million and
what's
you
the sauce?
telling me
What's the sauce? What's the sauce of
you
that?
te- I need to
What's the
ah
source of that piece
let,
of news?
I am wait I'll share it to you now. I am getting pissed off now. And
Very
I don't
upset.
want to rant, but Lampard is
With
making me rant.
regards to the question of Marvelous True,
This is it. This is it.
in all honesty,
That's it
despite the
offside.
fact that des- despite the fact that you know Mourinho got sacked twice, I still feel like he has a better personal relationship with Roman. Roman has not really had the personal relationship with Lampard as a manager.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Lampard as a player, but then even at the time, it was a player owner relationship. Compared to Lampard as a manager. Since he has been a manager, Roman hasn't been in London.
Mm-hmm.
Roman hasn't been at Stamford Bridge to see games or been in training grounds and all that. So I feel like he has a better personal relationship with Mourinho. Um, for him to have even brought him back after the first time he was sacked, it has to
Yep.
count for something. So for me, it's Mourinho ahead of Lampard.
Offside, that's the link. That's
Um,
getting me pissed off at the moment.
The source,
Offside.
yeah, said, yeah.
What you've just said, Abdullah, if you go back and watch the pre-match,
Mm-hmm.
you use the exact words and you said the specific thing that I said. I agree
Yeah.
100%. Not to say
Mm-hmm.
that Miyagi is wrong because there's no right answer and there's no wrong answer. It's just personal opinion. But
Mm-hmm.
exactly what you said, those are my exact thoughts. I
Yeah,
feel
he
like
said the same thing.
knowing Roman and how hungry he was to win when he first bought the club,
Mm-hmm.
the, Mourinho brought that to him immediately as the
Yeah.
first manager. They had a connection. If you paid attention to Mourinho's interviews when he was without a job before he got hired by Tottenham, and when he would get asked about his relationship with Roman, he said they still spoke often. He said that with transfers when he signed Drogba, Lampard, those players, Roman a lot of times wanted to go for the bigger names that were in the market, but Mourinho would tell him, "No, trust me, just give me the check, and played by the exact players that I want. So they had like a chemistry, they had an understanding. I provide the financial backing, I provide the tactics, you win. Abdullah, you have to mute people that are
Oh,
talking. So
okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think Lampard, maybe as a player, Roman had, contact with him and a relationship with him. But as a manager, or even since he left Chelsea, I don't think Lampard strikes me as the type of person that kept connections with Roman or anyone in the board at Chelsea when he left to go to City and then the MLS before he became a coach. So I feel like there's a disconnect between Lampard and Roman as an owner. So I don't think the affinity or the love or the relationship is as strong as it is with Mourinho as a coach. And another thing that reaffirms that belief for me is whenever Lampard gets asked about Roman, he often says, "Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. You would have to ask
Yeah.
Roman." He always says that. He never says, "Well, I spoke to Roman," or he never says anything that gives me an inkling that he's as close to Roman as a lot of Chelsea fans would think. Whereas whenever you would ask Mourinho, he would say, "This is what Roman said. Roman told me this." So little things like that. And when you think about how Lampard has said multiple times that he doesn't have a relationship with Mourinho and he doesn't have as close as a relationship with Marina or any member of the board or Chelsea hierarchy as people think, it tells me even more so that, you know, Frank Lampard, for lack of a better word, is just freestyling in this job. He doesn't, he's
Hello,
just,
can I quickly say this?
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay.
Let me say this. Okay. I get your point, yeah? And I understand, like, I mean, you made a point there. You said there's no right or wrong answer. It's just basically opinions. But now, here's another thing. Yes, I agree Mourinho brought the instant success to Chelsea, which Abramovich wanted. But over the years, throughout that length of success that we had, it was between these three set of players, but different managers. Lampard was a part of that team. There was a time that the Champions League became a holy grail for Abramovich. He wanted it at all costs. Mourinho wasn't there again at that point in time. Who delivered it to him? It was this same set of players that delivered it. It wasn't the man. He didn't care about the manager. This Abramovich, you rarely see him in public, but we've seen so many pictures of him and this crop of players. Yes, I agree with Offside that maybe the relationship with Frank Lampard as the player is different from the Frank Lampard, the manager. Yes, but we also need to understand that from when Lampard became the manager of Chelsea, Abramovich has been having issues with coming into London. So basically, Marina has been the one running the team. So directly or indirectly, he does not have a direct contact with Abramovich. He has direct access to Marina. Probably that is why there's been no much talk about, hey, I heard from Abramovich, because it's someone else that is running the show presently, not the manager, not the owner, as it has been in the past. I mean, I don't know if I'm communicating with you guys here.
Yeah,
throughout throughout
100%.
those
You
periods,
just,
Goes Hayden, AVB, Ancelotti, every one of those people, the Abramovich was always about the key players, about these key players in the team, not the managers. He could sack any manager,
Miyagi,
but he loved
Miyagi.
this crop of players. Yes,
We're
I'm
talking
listening.
about Lampard as a manager. We're not talking about Lampard as a player now.
That's
Now,
what I'm
the idea
saying.
of
That you also need to understand that there's been
if
an
we're talking
issue
about, yeah,
as at when
that's
Lampard
what
came
we're
in.
not blaming. Well, at least for me, I'm not blaming Lampard for Roman not being in England. The question, from what I understood, was basically based on the performance so far. The performances so far between Lampard and Mourinho as a manager. Both of them as managers of the side. Who do I think, or who do we think is closer to Roman? And whatever the background history is, whatever the history is, whatever the background story is, the point my point or my position basically is that Mourinho was more like his go-to guy. Let me ask you now this question: if had not stayed away this long from London,
Mm-hmm.
imagine what kind of conversation he would be having with Lampard on the training
100.
pitch with these
That is
results
exact.
coming out week in,
That is
week out. How do you
exactly
think it
what.
would be?
Thank you. That is exactly what I was going to say with Sumiyangi.
Don't you
You
think he would
see,
have been fired along? The
he
pressure
would
would
have
have
been
been even way
fired
more on Lampard.
if we use Miyangi. If we use your argument, if we use what you've just said, which I don't disagree with. I agree with what you just said, Miyangi. But if we use it to go with the conversation we're having, if hypothetically speaking, Frank Lampard and Roman had been in England, or if he was able to come freely, Lampard would have been sacked a long time ago. Because in the
Mm-hmm.
2015-16 season, at this point of the season, Mourinho had more points than Lampard. At 19 games in 2015-16, Mourinho had more points than Lampard, and he was still sacked. And I think that's because Roman was able to see performances firsthand. Because, they say there are no fans at the stadium. Yeah, there are no fans, but owners can still be in the VIP box. Owners can still be at the stadium and watch firsthand. If Roman has bore witness to some of these performances in person, Lampard may have gotten sacked in the tunnel, like Carlo Ancelotti. So the whole reason I asked that question is because I'm trying to make people understand that Lampard's saving grace is the fact that the owner of the club is taking another person's word. He's taking Marina's word, and he's not seeing things at face value. Because if Roman, from what I know about him and from the impression I've gotten of him being a Chelsea supporter, if he sees a lot of these games in person, Frank
Mm-hmm.
Lampard would be gone a long time ago.
A
But
go, long time ago.
I don't disagree with anyone's opinion because it's a question of what do you think. So I'm just saying the reason Lampard still has a job is because probably Marina and Petr Cech, who's also a member of the board now, if we don't, let's
Mm-hmm.
remember that, they're probably vouching for him. But it would be interesting with this crisis talk because like Bale just said, if Roman calls in virtually on Zoom and his thing is, okay, I watched the Leicester game, what do you have to say, or how can we defend that performance, then it becomes an issue. If before it was a case of Lampard talking to Petr Cech and Petr Cech talking to Marina and Marina talking to Roman, then maybe like Lampard has been able to like slip through the cracks and avoid the sack. But if tomorrow in the crisis talk it's a teleconference and Roman himself asks as Lampard to defend that performance, then I think there
Mm-hmm.
will be a problem. And if there isn't a problem, then maybe we can all, as Chelsea fans, say that Roman has truly changed and he wants to take a long-term approach. Who knows? And there are also things, people are saying that he isn't as passionate about owning a football club as he once was. So that's also something to bear in mind. If he can't come into London for legal reasons, he may be looking to sell the club anyway. So maybe he doesn't care as much. That's something we also have to have at the back of our minds. But nonetheless, in my opinion, the reason why Lampard still has the job is because Roman has not seen any of these performances himself.
Fair enough. After I wanted to say something, right? Go for it.
Yeah. You said with regards to what you just said that he may actually not care as much. Remember, he just spent £250 million, so that may just be enough to, shut down the arguments. I don't know. Don't you think?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. When I put that into consideration, the money invested, then yes. But then in that same breath, people can make the argument that the bulk of that money is from the Eden Hazard deal and not directly from Roman. That's also something people don't mention. The money that we reinvested in the squad might just be money from Real Madrid that we got for Eden Hazard.
But marvelous.
So
Getting the money from Eden Hazard to Real Madrid is only 150. Maybe
yeah,
under the
but there
150.
were add-ons. There were add-ons involved with his deal. Like they won La Liga,
Yeah.
so they got more
Mm-hmm.
money. And if they win another trophy this season, we also get more money. So it was 150 up front, and then
But he, at
depending
least
on
he
how
didn't try to
successful
cash
the
out,
team.
because that was also
Yeah,
the
he didn't
option.
try to cash out. Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. But a lot of these discussions that we have as fans, there really isn't a right or wrong answer. That's why when I see like fans argue on Twitter, sometimes I'm like, it's kind of trivial. Like there's no any anyone's opinion can be validated with the right evidence. So we just have to keep an open mind, but we all have to use the common sense thing and say, in this moment in time, it's not working. Whatever Lampard is doing, we would all have loved for things to be going well, but it's not going well, and we need to make a change sooner rather than later, because the next manager will be affected by what happens in the next two
But
two
marvelous,
weeks.
marvelous. If another manager comes in and Chelsea massively perform beyond expectation, then where does the blame goes to? This will come to Lampard back because they will be like, but Lampard can't motivate this player. Why did this new manager comes in and motivate this player? Because if a manager comes in and motivate this player and bring those confidence in them, Timo scoring, Kayava play very well, and we see different kind of Chelsea team entirely, apart from the one we're seeing now. Then when does the blame goes to? Does it go to Roman? No, it doesn't go to Marina. It goes to Lampard because people come to Lampard and ask him. This team are playing very well under new hierarchy and under new manager. The under your manager post or manager career as a Chelsea, all we could see is cross. No tactics, no pattern, but this team has an identity. The move was wrong. What's going on? So an argument can come that way also and say if a manager comes in, he may not have the problem Lampard is having it because an experienced manager would know exactly what is going on with this Chelsea team, and it's easier for him to motivate this player and bring out this confidence in them. This Chelsea team is not bad. Kai Havertz is not a bad player. Timo Werner is not a bad player. Hakim Ziyech is not a bad player. Lampard is making this player look bad. A new manager who comes into this team and make them look very, very good. Very, very good. Did anyone have like a reporter to this or no? Niangi, Marvelous, anybody?
When a new manager comes into any situation, usually, unless it's extremely dire, there's always like a brief period where the players' performances are raised, because you have to bear in mind that they all want like a starting spot in the new manager's starting 11, so they automatically raise their performances subconsciously. Naturally, that's a thing that they'll do because they all want to be the first names on the team sheet since it's a blank slate. But I would say, don't, whomever the next manager is, we can't judge him for that first month. So even if the performances are great or if they're really bad, because that's like the honeymoon. That's like players like fighting to, impress him. I would say like subsequently after that, heading into March, if a new manager comes in February, heading into March, April, ending of the season, that's when you can start to see like what is likely to happen in the next season, because that's when like form would have settled. Everyone knows their pecking order. They know like, okay, this is my position. This is how this manager regards. This is how this manager wants to play, and
For
everything is a
Marvelous
lot
and the
more.
other guys, Marvelous, Bale, and After before you guys goes. Let me bring this out now for you guys to see. Then I think this could be the last conversation. I want to be happy and I want to keep my emotions. But Simon Phillips just tweeted something on that Chelsea are looking for an experienced manager. An experienced manager. So who do you guys think they have in their mind at the moment?
Let Bale go first because he hasn't spoken in
Bale
a
go.
while.
Bale go first. Yes, Simon Phillips already said just are looking for an experienced manager. It could be possible this week. It could be possible maybe tomorrow. Maybe that's the reason for the crisis talk that has been going on around the kind of way. So who do you think is coming on since I'm hearing experienced manager?
Thomas Tuchel.
Thomas Tuchel?
Mm-hmm.
Nyangi, what do you think? What do you think, Nyangi? Experienced manager, Tuchel or Massimo
I'll
Allegri?
go. I'll go with Allegri. I love pragmatic managers.
Marvelous, all of you. So, Marvelous, what do you go for? Allegri or Thomas Tuchel?
If
Let me bring
the
out the
key,
Tuchel.
if the key word is experience,
Experience. Yeah,
then
experience.
I think they're in conversation with Allegri. That doesn't necessarily think Allegri will take over, because if you know the
Mhm.
Chelsea board, they love Marina. She loves to
So this is
negotiate.
what I saw. This is what I see.
Okay,
Can you guys see it?
they're looking at experienced managers.
Mm-hmm.
So it may not just be Allegri. They may be in conversation with managers that are currently coaching, pending the end
Mm-hmm.
of the season. So you see, if they're looking at experienced managers, would you guys say that Nagelsmann is experienced? Not really. I mean,
I
he's
don't think so.
experienced, but not an
Mm-hmm.
experienced manager. So that would
Mm-hmm.
rule
I
him
don't think
out.
From
Nagelsmann.
Germany
Maybe
again.
from
What
Germany
did you
again.
say? Yeah,
From
from
Germany again.
Leipzig. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I mean, we've bought the whole of Germany, and it's not working for us. And want to go and get a manager from Germany again? Come
uh,
on,
I
come
mean,
on.
you can say we would get the manager because we have the players and they have like a rapport. German managers could work with German players.
so what do you guys think? Based on this report, you guys are
Because
thinking
the thing with
Allegri or
Allegri is
Tuchel?
this. The thing with Allegri is this, Abdullah. I feel like some
Mm.
of these players Allegri will not want, like Kai Havertz,
I think I'm
Ziyech.
gonna reboot that because I've watched Juventus a lot. That's why I keep saying that. My own pick is Allegri because I have watched Juventus Football Club a lot. Right before Cristiano Ronaldo comes into that team, under Allegri. Allegri doesn't have a midfield who can orchestrate what he wants for him. If Allegri comes in, the way Lampard and Sarri has been using Golo Conte will stop. Conte is not a player who doesn't need to say this. All Conte needs to do is interception. Get the ball from the attacker, pass. Get the ball from the attacker, pass. That is what Conte needs to interception. What he did under Antonio Conte and Claudio Ranieri under Leicester City. That is what Conte needs to do. And Allegri comes in beneficiary for N'Golo Conte. It's been massively overused a lot by the other two managers we have, in which I am not happy as a fan about. That is why Allegri comes in, will change the mentality of the team, and is an experienced manager. You are talking about Kai Havertz. Those people will have a chance because Allegri is an adaptable manager, very flexible. He can switch any formation you want him to play. He will switch it based on the player he has. In Juventus, he did not have the player he wanted. But in Chelsea now, he has the player he wanted. The player every manager is dreaming of having. Kai Havertz, Timo Werner, Hakim Ziyech, Thiago Silva. He has basically a creative outlet in his team. There's no way he won't succeed in that team. No way. The 16-17 of Juventus, that was the best of Paulo Dybala I've ever seen as a fan. He has the best Paulo Dybala. He was a beast in Juventus. He was a massive player in Juventus. So like I said, it's not a problem having this player. It's not as long as the manager knows what he's doing. I think he's gonna implement the system way to benefit those players for me. Do anyone like have like another kind of reporter to it or no? Niyangi, do you have any reporter to it or no?
Not really. I'm just thinking about the game again. Did you notice that teams have
Mm-hmm.
started taking shots on our goal
Yes.
again, similar to what happened last season?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we are lucky to still have Mendy in goal,
The
As
post.
a goalkeeper,
but most of the goals we've been conceding recently are
it wasn't
shots.
his fault. It
Exactly, are
wasn't his
shots
fault for me.
from
It was
outside
not
the
his fault.
18-yard box.
Yep.
You know why,
No, no, no.
right?
I'm not blaming him. I'm not blaming him. I'm saying if it was Kepa that was there, he would have considered double of what Mendy. Mendy still helped us.
Yeah,
Mendy
Mm-hmm.
is doing very well. My
But you
point
know
is,
why?
why can't Lampard see what? Why can't Lampard see what everyone is seeing?
But you know
He's
why?
Today,
stubborn. Lampard is stubborn.
Madison
He's stubborn.
was having a free time in front of goal. A free
Madison was
time in
having
Yes.
front of
fun.
goal.
Yeah.
You know why? You know
And
why
then we
teams are
get to their own
confident?
position and we can't take shots.
Me
No, no, no,
dribble. Pulisic was
no.
dribbling. Mason
You know
Mount was
why?
passing. I was like, shoot! Can someone just play shots?
You know why teams are confident to shoot at our goal, regardless of who our goalkeeper is because we never have a presence, like a player that's just like roaming around that in front of the box, that 20-yard, 25-yard space where N'Golo Kante is supposed to be roaming around.
That is why I
If
said I want Allegri because
so,
Allegri will use we will see the best of Kante. All Chelsea player will see the best. We've not seen the best of Conte yet. The best of Conte I've seen was under Antonio Conte and under Claudio Ranieri at Leicester City. That is the best of Conte I've seen. I've not seen the best of Conte this year because Sarri and Lampard have been misusing Conte. That is why I want Allegri because now I have a manager who will build that team and want Conte and tell you are my DM. Don't go forward. Stay where
so
you look at Ndidi of Leicester City. He didn't
exactly,
know his job.
exactly,
He know his
Abdullah,
job.
Abdullah, exactly. So when opposing players get the ball in that like 25-yard area where usually N'Golo Kante is supposed to be if he's being used right, and they see, oh, no one's here. No one's closing me down. That's the key thing. Nobody closes anyone down. Kovacic isn't a defensive midfielder, so he can't
Mm-hmm.
close them down. So they have the space. They can just knock the ball a yard or two ahead of them and shoot. On the other hand, when we get in front of their box to that 25-yard area, they usually have at least one DM. Some teams have two DMs that are
Mm-hmm.
like closing people down. So we can't have the space to shoot. And that's why, like, when we shoot, if you pay attention, when we score goals from outside the box, like when Mason Mount has done it twice this season, the ball
Mm-hmm.
has had to travel through bodies. And the reason why the
Yeah.
goalie didn't save it is because he couldn't see. So they usually have players there. Us, we never have anyone there. That's why when they shoot the ball, like they're able to curve it, they're able to bend it however they want because they have time. No one closes them down. And it's funny because you pointed that out. Anyone can see that. So the fact that
Mm-hmm.
Lampard hasn't caught that and addressed it and told our players be wary of this, close people down, that also shows that he doesn't know what he's doing to some regard.
It
He was
doesn't.
telling us
It's
that
funny
after
that
the post match. Go for it,
e-
Yangi. Go for it.
every time
Finish up.
you see
Mm-hmm.
him smiling when we are leading, and I'm always like, what is making you smile? You're leading against Morecambe and you are smiling to the camera. For what? You're a manager, for crying out loud. Brendan Rodgers was leading today. See how anxious he was. Like, do you want to that zeal, that zeal that you see from Conte. He even brings it into the fans. Either you're in the stadium or you're at home, you are feeling it. At this point in time, Chelsea is losing. This guy just keeps walking, just keeps pacing around the touchline with absolutely, he has nothing, absolutely nothing to tell them. It's one thing for you to have something to say and you want to tell them. Lampard has absolutely nothing to say to these players. That's why I'm always smiling when they say he's not talking. He does. What do you want him to say? He doesn't know what to tell them. He has not been in this kind of situation before. He is not the one that will take them out of this situation. We need to get somebody else.
Please, I have a question.
Okay.
What is the job of this guy, Jordan Morris, and the other back home staff? What are they doing exactly?
I have no idea. With the question you just asked me, I have no idea about it because I believe as the job of the other manager is to tell the manager, a manager, we are doing something wrong. This is what we need to do. But I think Jordan Moore doesn't really have a
No,
say
no,
in that.
Abdullah, perfect. I love you for that question. If you guys are on Chelsea Twitter, there's like
Mm-hmm.
a rumor that is building in strength because apparently someone got inside information that a lot of what happened last season with the academy players was
Was
as a
Jordan Morris.
result of Jordy Morris because he used to be the
Mm-hmm.
academy coach. And if you paid attention last season, Jordy Morris was more vocal than Lampard. He was always
Yeah.
pacing back and forth. He was the one that would speak to the players when they would come for water breaks. But I feel like this season, he doesn't have a say because Frank Lampard has the players that he bought, and Frank Lampard wants to kind of assume authority. He wants to show like he has a hold over the team, like he wants to step into his role even more. So you can argue that a lot of what happened last season and the fact that we were able to salvage fourth place was because of Jordy Morris. And a few other like really popular Chelsea YouTubers have also made that argument. Jordy Morris may have been responsible for what we saw last season. And that even further reinforces the fact that Lampard is even more clueless. And you see, that's why like people say they're angry, they hate. Like I always say, with me, I always say I'm sad because I love Lampard. But I'm also objective, and I know that
Do
the
you
club
realize
is
there's
more.
there's always no communication between them during the game, between
Yeah, they
And the
don't
Morris and
talk.
goalkeeper.
Lampard?
They don't talk. They don't
They
talk.
don't
They don't
talk.
talk.
Even when they come to get water, they don't talk to him. He doesn't talk to them. I should say he doesn't talk to them, not they don't talk to him. Because naturally, if you don't talk to a player, he'll keep doing what he's doing, thinking what they're doing is right.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just at this moment. I'm just down because I do not understand. For me, I don't get what is going on. For me, I don't know what is going on. I don't know. Something needs to be done with this team. Something seriously needs to be done. That crisis talk has to happen with immediate effect. Roman needs to be on the call. I don't want Marina to be on the call. Marina will be sentiments. I want Roman to be on the call. I don't know. I'm serious. I want Roman to be on the call, not Marina, because Marina will be Roman will be direct and straight, but Marina will be like, Roman, is the. I don't want that. I don't. No. I don't want that. Roman will be like, no. He has to go, and this is the sack letter. It's as simple as that. Get out. That is what I want. I don't want Marina to that. Marina will be like backing Lampard and saying, "Don't worry, no, I don't want that. I do not want that. No, I don't want that. I don't." I don't know. For me, I am so short of what at the moment. I'm just short of. I do not know what to say anymore because.
No, Miyagi, you just put me in a dilemma when you said that you're thinking about the game. Now I'm thinking about the game and I'm getting even more frustrated.
Sorry
Because
about that.
usually when Chelsea plays bad, I try to do everything to not think about the performance. Now I'm thinking about it because you said you were thinking about it. It could have. We're lucky that it's 2-0. It may have been 4.
Eduardo Mendy kept
Yeah,
Chelsea. Eduardo Mendy kept Chelsea. It should have been 4-5. He
Not
saved
even
Chelsea a lot.
not even Edouard Mendy. Vardy, his finishing wasn't as good as it usually is.
Yes.
That opportunity where he tried to chip Mendy,
That
usually
Mendy pushed it out.
usually that chip works, but Vardy didn't have the finishing boots on today, I guess.
Yeah.
There was that situation where he
No, there was
feinted.
the situation of Telemas,
He
in which,
feinted.
if you remember, Telemas, Mendy pushed the ball out. And also, I think Barnes also, when Mendy
Yeah,
pushed out, I was like,
yeah. There
if
was
not for
also
this
the
Mendy, well, like,
situation.
if it was another goalkeeper, it was like, been like 5-0 or 4-0. This will
There
be
was a
so bad.
situation where Vardy feinted and Rudiger
Mm-hmm.
slid and Vardy went around him, but Vardy like accidentally kicked the ball into Mendy's hands. And then the one with their
Yeah.
fullback, when their fullback
Mm-hmm.
headed the ball, that one should have been a goal. I think
Yeah.
the player just like didn't concentrate because he wasn't being marked. I think he was surprised that he wasn't being marked and he had a
Yeah.
free header.
It was Fofana. It was Fofana. Fofana.
Yeah, I think it was Fofana or Jordan.
Fofana.
They're
Fofana. That headed the ball when Mendy pushed out with corner kick. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So for me, it's tough
I
to back
just
Lampard at the
realized
moment
again that
because. Mm-hmm.
we you were playing against Vardy, a very fast player, and you
Mm-hmm.
decided to use Silva and Rudiger,
Why?
two center backs that are not fast.
no. It should have been Rudiger and Zuma because Rudiger's fast. But then Rudiger's fast, but he wasn't marking Vardy. You let Thiago Silva mark Vardy. I don't understand.
I don't understand how. Why? He keeps proving every game that he's just doing trial and error. Let me try this if it will work. Let me try this if it will work. I'm trying not to think about the game, but it just keeps coming back to my head, and I don't even know what to think about.
Diego Simeone. Diego Simeone is probably the biggest Lampard in person in the world right now. I wouldn't be surprised if Diego Simeone is making like fake Twitter pages, pretending to be a Chelsea fan, saying Lampard in. Because when that Atletico Madrid game comes, if you guys thought Pep Guardiola taught him a lesson, imagine Diego Simeone who's like anti-football. Diego Simeone would probably just like mind mark everybody and let only Mount have the ball just to like prove a point. Because I feel like Diego Simeone, he's like the type of manager who likes to embarrass. Like certain managers, I feel like to embarrass the other manager. I feel like Diego Simeone is one of them. Abdullah, you're on mute. You're on mute.
Oh, okay. I said that's a bad match for us, having Diego Simeone for the Champions League. No, that's a bad match. For me, I don't know. Like, imagine Arsenal 2 points ahead of Chelsea. If Arsenal win their next match, they go above Chelsea. Do you guys know that?
Yeah.
They go above Chelsea. And their next match is Southampton.
If Aston Villa listen, I think
Aston Villa has four match and four. They play tomorrow and they play Saturday. After tomorrow and Saturday, they have 2 matches outstanding to play against. If they win those 4 matches remaining,
they can. They have City. They have Everton.
What give us the chance they won't be City tomorrow? What give us the chance? They won't be City tomorrow.
They can.
We'll see. Tomorrow is coming. We'll see. We'll see tomorrow.
Sure,
what give us the chance they won't be City?
Sure. I'll remind you tomorrow. I'll remind you today.
You guys want to know something that's ironic too? I feel like the reason why Villa is so defensively solid this season, the level of team they are, is because of John Terry. And if you remember against Liverpool, I can't remember the team where Christensen stayed down. John Terry wrote on Instagram.
Against Aston Villa.
Yeah, John Terry wrote on Instagram that he doesn't understand what happened there defensively. Christensen could have got up. So even John Terry, things are affecting him, and he's not even at the club. And he's made a more honest critique than Lampard, who's the manager. Lampard just brushed that situation aside.
Guys, let's just hand this off. I don't know what to say. Like, let's hand this off because at this moment, it's not about fed up anymore. It's just about giving up. I am literally giving up. So, to round up everything now, let me come to the angle now. Round up everything. We have, let me bring on the next matches we have. Just to round up everything.
Wolves. We are playing Wolverhampton.
We have Wolves, Burnley, Tottenham Hotspur, right?
Yes.
Tottenham Hotspur. So, Nyangi, we have 3 matches. Will you sack Lampard now before those 3 matches, or you give him to Wolves before you sack him? Because I can know what's going to happen against Wolves. I already know. Before the match is going to begin, I knew what's going to happen. I know. I think Nyang is busy. Let me come to Bale now. Will you give Lampard to the Wolves?
Yeah, if you are sacking Frank Lampard, you have to wait till after the Wolves match. So let's say the
if things go bad against Wolves, I don't think it's.
I think that's all. That's all for Frank Lampard.
I think they should sack him now.
Why? Why do you say now?
Looking at those 3 games, I don't think you can pick a win from any of the three games. Burnley are ultra defensive. They would not give us that opportunity to run at their goal. We wouldn't get anything. Wolves will use counter against us. They will
Again,
play
yeah,
counter
exactly.
attacking. They would score. Tottenham, the Mourinho effect, he has the advantage because we are totally down and out right now. So he's going to put the hot knife through the butter against us. So I don't see us picking anything in the next three games, unfortunately.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Marvelous.
Mourinho,
What
Mourinho,
do you sack him
Mourinho.
now or you give him to Wolf?
I personally would sack him. I already, in my opinion, after the meeting tomorrow, he's already sacked, but they're gonna delay it,
But
and the new manager will
I want to
come
wait
in.
to I want to wait up to tomorrow and hear breaking news. Chelsea have part ways with Lampard with emotional consult.
No,
Oh,
no,
that
no.
would be the happiest moment of my entire life because
I
this year Lampard has killed my Lord in heaven. I
no,
don't
no,
know,
no.
man.
I agree. I think behind the scenes, it's gonna be
Mm-hmm,
known that he's sacked, that they've come to a
mm-hmm,
mutual agreement. But I think they're
mm-hmm.
gonna wait till February. And the only reason I say that is, they have to work on iron out the contract with whomever's coming in, and that may take like a
Oh, it's
week or
gonna take
two.
them like two. Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, a week or two. So I feel as though it's curtains for him. It's sad. Unfortunately, it did not work. Now, here's the thing. He's going to be in
Mm-hmm,
charge for the Wolves game if it takes a week or two. I don't think he'll beat Wolves. Um, I think they'll counterattack us, and I've already come to the conclusion this season that anytime we come across a manager that's better than Lampard,
mm-hmm,
unless the quality between the two teams is so disparaging, we'll always
mm-hmm,
lose. Like Carlo Ancelotti, when we met Carlo Ancelotti with Everton, Everton aren't good as a team as Chelsea, but Carlo is a better manager. So that equalizes it. So we're going to lose. So with Wolves aren't as good a team as Chelsea. Sorry about that. They aren't as good a
Oh,
team as
is it?
Chelsea, but
Mm-hmm,
Nuno Esperanto is an experienced. And remember, Nuno Esperanto used to play for Jose Mourinho. A lot of people don't know that.
mm-hmm.
He's a disciple of Mourinho. So he
Yeah.
kind of equalizes it. He's just going to counter us and frustrate us and win, similar to what he did when we played them earlier. I think Jose Mourinho would be hoping that Lampard stays on the job till they play Tottenham, because I think Mourinho doesn't agree. Like, Lampard, when Lampard first took over and Mourinho, they have a job and they asked Mourinho to give Lampard advice, and I can't remember what he said. Lampard said that he thinks, and you can look this up. Lampard said in an interview that he doesn't appreciate Mourinho's comments and he thinks Mourinho needs to mind his business, that he hasn't called him for advice and he doesn't plan on it. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong because Lampard is a grown man. He could say whatever he wants. But I'm saying from Mourinho's perspective, he
Mm-hmm.
probably wants to be the manager that sacks Lampard. So he could be like,
That's gonna be the headlines.
yeah, so he
Mm-hmm.
could be like,
Exactly.
oh, you didn't want to call me for advice? Well, now you're sacked. And knowing Mourinho, the type of character he is, he might say in the
Mm-hmm.
post match, you see, Lampard,
Exactly.
if you would have called me, like me and you would have worked something out and I would have. But so I think Mourinho probably wants him to stay till that game. But I think once this month ends, let me look at the calendar right now. I'll probably give you
Let
like
me
a date.
let me bring it out. Let me bring it out.
Um,
Let me bring it out.
yeah. So the month ends on the 31st Sunday. So I think
Yeah.
like that weekend, the 30th, 31st, we'll have a new manager.
So these are the remaining matches Chelsea have now. Let me try to bring it out.
Who are we playing? Who are we playing on the 31st or 30th?
Let me see. I'm bringing out the stuff now. Like this. Oh, okay. I've already shared it. I shared it now. So we're playing Wolf, Burnley, Tottenham, Sheffield, Newcastle, and Southampton. That's who we're playing.
I think by the Burnley game, we'll have a new manager.
By the Burnley game,
Yeah, the 30th.
this is tough, man. So you don't think by the Wolverhampton Wanderers we're gonna have a new manager?
No, because they need to work out the contract of the incoming manager.
Nyangi. So these are the matches we have now. Wolves, Burnley, Tottenham, Sheffield, Newcastle, and Southampton. Where will Frank Lampard survive? Or is he gonna go tonight or after the Wolves or after the Burnley? Are you there? Let me come to Burnley now. So you say you want to give him to like the Wolverhampton Wanderers or you want him to go now?
Exactly.
Why will you give him to Wolverhampton Wanderers when you know it's over? Hearing the news about Chelsea getting kind of new manager, experienced manager in, then you know something is going on behind the scene, and there's gonna be a crisis talk tomorrow. I wish I'm in the boardroom, listening to the crisis. I'll just be laughing that get this one out of that. I'll be the first person to vote. I'll vote for like who's gonna vote for Lampard. I'll raise my hand up. Lampard has to go. For what reason? I'll bring out the reason. Lampard cannot argue with me. He cannot. He's gone. For so many reasons, he has to go. My first question is gonna be why are you learning Tomori out? Is it better than Rudiger? No. Better than because then I'll bring out the proof. These are the proof that you said. Back what you said up. You can't back it up. It's gone. It's as simple as that. So you want to give him to like the Wolverhampton before you get him sacked, right?
Yes, sir.
Wow. I honestly, I feel bad for him because of what he means to the club, what he did as a player, because I can only imagine how tense that meeting is going to be, especially if Roman calls in and it's going to.
I think Roman is going to call. I think Roman will interfere. Roman may not be interfering because everything that's going on in Chelsea, Roman knows. He may not be in the stadium, but he knows what is going on. And this time around, I think Roman will interfere. Will surely interfere. It may be a video call, it may be a Zoom call. I believe Abramovich is gonna come in and talk. I'm that confident he will talk. Because everything that is going on, I think Marina is gonna be feeding a woman and be like, hey boss, this is what's going on. What do we do? What decision do you want us to make?
It may be a case of an interim manager comes in now, and then at the end of the season, an experienced manager who has a job takes over. And you know how they suggested Shevchenko in the list? Roman Abramovich and Shevchenko are really close. They have a friendship. Like they've had a friendship for a very long time because when Roman was much younger, he was a huge fan of Shevchenko, and through being
Roman is the Ukrainian manager. He can't just leave an Ukrainian manager and come to Chelsea. He has a job in Ukraine.
You can the Ukraine national team.
Yeah, he's the one that's.
You could be the manager of a national team and manage a club. You could do both.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot. Not a lot, but more. A handful of managers have done it. I think Conte did it at some point when he was at Juventus. He managed Juventus in Italy. So it may be a case of Shevchenko comes in as an interim, and then at the end of the season, we get like a manager with experience.
But I think Shevchenko doesn't have that much experience. For me, would that not be a risk?
Yeah, but
wouldn't that be a risk for me?
If he's coming in as an interim, then you know. And I think he'd be able to help. He'd be able to help Werner.
But for me, I would rather have a manager for a long time for me rather than having it, because as a long-term manager, I would have someone who is more experienced, who kind of know what he's doing, who is more experienced for the long term. When I know I'm not going to be changing my mind in the summer, all I will have to work on the summer is just work on the player we have. How many players do we have in the team? What is there to be fixed? That's only what I'm going to work on, because I know I have a long-term manager. That's what I'm going to do for me. I understand what you guys are saying, but for me, I will work on bringing the manager in at the moment, and like, okay, now the manager is coming. I don't want to start having an headache of having another manager comes in again. For me, that's what I would think about, and that's why I said I want Allegri for me, because I know Mas Allegri. I am already. I'm already rejoicing because I'm happy. I know Allegri. I know. So that gave me an happiness. That gave me confidence because this team doesn't. This team will lack. I've never seen Chelsea team this bad. Lampard is making us look so horrible, abysmal, lackluster. Oh my lord, the level. I don't know what English I should use again. I don't know. What English I should use? I don't know. I don't know what name I should use again. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea. So, Male, you get it. Okay.
The season where Juventus came back from being 2-0 behind and they beat Atletico Madrid 3-0 in the second leg, was Allegri the coach of Juve?
Which year was that?
Wasn't that his last season as Juventus?
Which year was that?
That's the year that they got beat by Ajax in the quarterfinals.
I think so. I think it was I think it was Allegri. I think so. Yeah.
Okay. If Allegri were to come in before our Champions League game against Atletico, I think with his experience, we have a chance in that tie. Because I feel like if Lampard goes into the Atletico tie, I don't know.
So let me hear Lampard out now. Man, Lampard out. Are you there?
Yeah, bro, I'm here. How you good? How you man doing? You good?
Good. We're managing, man. We've been discussing Lampard for the past 2 hours now, and I didn't want to take us for
I'm watching you, man, on HH's channel, man.
Yeah, I should have come to HH, but I'm coming on Thursday. I'm not coming now on HH. On Thursday, you're gonna have my smoke on Thursday.
I want to see the prime Abdullahi, man. I want to see that.
No. On Thursday, I'm coming on Thursday. I'm ready to the HH. On Thursday, my Lord in heaven, you guys gonna be ready for the smoke.
You know, I'm surprised he hasn't been sacked yet. I'm surprised, man. I thought it was.
I think there's a report that there's gonna be a crisis talk tomorrow morning with Lampard. There may be a possible.
I remember when Mourinho had the meeting, innit? It took time. I think he got sacked after the Leicester game.
Yeah.
But what I was trying to say is, I think the two main men that for the job are Tuchel or Allegri, because they're the ones that are out of a job.
Yeah.
So you want?
So who do you think will come in, Tuchel or Allegri? Because I think Tuchel wants the job so badly because he's a German manager. Yeah. I think Tuchel wants the job badly.
Yeah, that's
unlike
true.
Allegri. I don't think Allegri will come in now, but it depends on what the board and the woman
Allegri lives in London as well, innit? Allegri lives in London.
He live in London?
Yeah.
He live in London?
He has a house there. That's what.
Yeah. Wow. I saw a report that said he was at home watching the Leicester game today. So it might be him.
You mean Allegri?
Yeah.
Allegri?
Yeah. He set aside time to watch the game today.
Wow.
But then, that also tells you something, though, because imagine what he's thinking watching that performance. He probably already has a list of players that he does not want.
Bro, I'm telling you now, yeah, once he comes in, Mount's not going to get the game time that he's been getting. Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, that's what I'm saying. When Mount, he wants Lampard to stay in it. But like, when Lampard goes, all the players are going to be happy except one player, Mount. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's a good player, but he just gets a bit overrated for me. Because today I was seeing everyone saying he's our best player. No one was mentioning Kovacic.
I'm lying, you got to.
Oh, who's that? Is that someone?
Nah.
Oh, okay. Go for it. Go ahead. Go for it.
Yeah, I was saying Kovacic was as well. He didn't get the credit. It was
always wait. Lampard, let me ask you this question. Yeah. What formation did Lampard? Because my brain cannot figure out the formation Lampard played today. I just do not understand. My brain can't figure out that formation today. I don't know what is going on with that formation. You play Kovacic, Mount, and Kai Havertz. No DMs. Is it a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1? Because what's going on?
I think if he had no Kante, he should have played 5 at the back. If he had no Kante, he should have just went 5 at the back, bro.
Yeah, because Kante was injured, so I can understand why no Kante was there, but Kante was injured.
Bro, I'm flipping. Bakayoko's doing decent right now, bro. Like, I think if you called him back.
For what you guys are saying, if it is true that Allegri lives in London and is watching this match, man, please, that is because that was my. I already told the HH was like laughing. I said HH, I want Allegri. I don't want Tuchel. The thing I want Allegri is Allegri is come to that Chelsea team and winning. Allegri do not care about you. And Allegri is not caring about. Allegri is coming to Chelsea Football Club and giving Roman a Premier League and a Champions League. Baba Roman, this is what I signed up for.
I remember in 2008, Mourinho got sacked in it, and I think Avram Grant came and went to the Champions League.
Exactly.
But,
so hiring Allegri for me is a.
You guys know Chelsea. People disrespect Chelsea a lot. We should arguably have 4 Champions League trophies.
Because we reached
like
let me give you examples,
15
bro.
years.
There's
2008. 2000. That Mourinho era.
2005.
Mourinho era, we should have had 2, but then we had the ghost goal and we had the penalties. And I feel like if we had gone to both finals with Mourinho at that time, we would have won at least 1. But I think we would have won 2. But let's say 1, okay. And then we had Avram Grant. We had Avram Grant. We were 1 penalty away, so we would have had 2. Then we had the whole UEFA Lona situation. We could have had 3, right?
Wow, exactly. That's true. Because
we could have really wrapped
13-14 reached the semi-finals, but all
Mourinho had to do, Mourinho overthought. All he had to do was play for the draw, and he tried to attack against Atletico.
He put 10 defensive players on the pitch. We were winning 1-0. I don't know what he did.
Played Aspilicueta at right wing. I will never forget that. So
bro, the only attacking player we had was Hazard, I think.
Yeah, we could have arguably had gone to that final. So we should have at least 4 UEFA Champions Leagues. But people disrespect us. Why? Because winning is all that matters. And that's why people usually say, but you guys only have 1 though.
Exactly. That's why.
You know what I want to say, bro? People laugh at our manager, but the one thing is our owner, bro. Like, these not have shit owners, bro. They don't have our owner in it. That's what I'm saying.
A lot of teams wish they had Roman as their owner. Look at Arsenal. Exactly. Imagine if Roman
was laughing
Arsenal.
Oh, my days. I mean, it's a bit embarrassing, blood. Like 3 points behind us now. Fuck's sake.
They're just 2 points behind. If they win their next match, they go top.
They go above us.
Exactly.
Bro, I hate these Lampard fanboys, man. Fucking hate them.
Me too. Not only you. Lampard out, not only you. Including me. They don't want to tell the truth. They say the truth, but they are not.
You know why I hate them? It's because I was putting comments on this. Did not reply to me, giving abuse and shit. You're not a real fan and shit like that. I was like, get out of it, man.
No. You know what's crazy? I'm about to say 2 things. But first, I got to ask this question. Abdullah, do you like Lampard? Just like objectively.
Yeah, I like him as a player, but as a manager, he's a class A. As a manager, he's a class A.
Okay, but if he like left Chelsea Football Club, you would go back to liking him, right?
If he left Chelsea Football Club, I was just gonna wish him good luck because what they did to me, I won't forget.
Yeah, but overall, when you remember his legacy, it would still be favorable.
I would still like him because of his legacy.
There's loads of good players out there that don't make great managers. His legacy will be ruined.
Lampard out. Objectively, taking aside what he's doing as a manager, do you like Lampard? You do. You're a Chelsea fan.
Yeah, I want him to do well. But he's not going to do well in my opinion.
This is the thing that a lot of these fanboys and these proper Chelsea fans are not understanding. When they say like, "Oh, you're not a real Chelsea fan," they're not real Chelsea fans.
They're part of a cultist
because they're putting a player above the badge. The football club is what matters the most.
That's true.
Chelsea's still gonna be here after Lampard passes away. When I pass away, when Abdullah passes away, when you pass away, the club's still gonna exist. The club matters more than the player. If you're supporting a player and you're sabotaging the club, then you're not a real fan. And what I'm noticing is opposing teams, they're pretending to be Chelsea fans, and they're putting Lampard in because they know that things aren't going well and results are going to get worse. They're trying to banter us.
Yo, Marvelous, can I say something here quickly? What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Do you know what that tells us, bro? That these proper Chelsea fans, they don't want the team to win. It's more us lot. We want the team to succeed. Because why would you want a manager you know that's out of his depth?
Yeah, he's out of his... He took Derby County from 6th to 6th.
Well, let's not forget, he had Harry Wilson, he had Ashley Cole, he had who else? Mason Mount.
He had
Tomori.
He had Wayne Rooney
as well, not Mason Mount.
He had Wayne Rooney.
That's
People
true.
people forget that he had a lot of like young ballers.
But you know what they'll say? They'll say, "Look at Derby this season, bro. They lost a lot of players, and like all the loan players went." So that's what I'll say to them.
Players that they had left because Lampard left. The only reason they had those players was because of Lampard.
Bro, his uncle gave him that job as well, I swear. Abdullah, your mic's muted. Abdullah.
Did you watch?
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Let me come to Lampard out now. If Allegri take over now, do we finish top and do we win the Champions League? Yes or no?
Finish top 4, I think. It depends, innit? Because the Champions League is a tough one. It's a knockout. It's a knockout competition, innit? It depends, bro. We definitely have a chance of winning it, but will we win it? I don't know. With Allegri, we could win it definitely, but I don't know if we will because it's a knockout competition. Anything can happen. But
let me come to Marvelous now. If Allegri take over, do we win the Champions League and finish top 4 or no?
With the Champions League, we have a better chance of attempting to win it because we'll have a better manager who'll put us in better, who'll set us up better in the games to have a fighting chance. We have a fighting chance, but I don't think we'll win it. In terms of top 4, I feel like Lampard has put us in a situation where it's out of our hands to some regard, unless we go on like a sick, mad winning streak. Top 4 is really out of our hands. We'd have to rely on like a team that's also competing for top 4 to have a bad run of games how we've just had. And I feel like they have more experienced managers, and that's unlikely to happen.
Oh, Bale.
Bale.
If Allegri comes in, and do we finish top 4 and we win Champions League or no?
Yeah, definitely top 4, but I don't know about the Champions League.
You said definitely top 4?
Yeah, definitely.
You sure about this? Wow. So why do you think we're not gonna go find the Champions League?
No reason, but it will be very tough. According to like what this guy said, Marvelous, we are going to attempt, but I don't see us winning it. Well, if luck shines our side, we might have a good one.
Do you guys agree with this guy? Do you guys agree with him? When Allegri was Tuchel, at the chance they can get to the semi-final.
Yeah, we have a better chance.
We have a better chance, but here's the thing. I already feel like, you know how we appealed the ban that we had, the transfer ban that we had from FIFA, and how FIFA's connected to UEFA, and there's a lot of corruption behind the scenes. I already feel like they're not rocking with us this season based on how they drew us with Atletico. Yeah. So I already feel like they may just screw us over if we somehow get past Atletico. You know? So I feel like they're not even trying to vibe out with us this year. They don't want us anywhere close to that trophy.
Why are people comparing guys? Why are people comparing Allegri to Antonio Conte? Both of them are different. Those are different managers. Why? Different. I keep saying it. I watched Juventus a lot under Massimiliano Allegri. I've seen this man play a lot. I've seen him play. People should go back and watch the 16.
As well?
Yeah, it was under Allegri. It was under Allegri. Paul Pogba was under Allegri.
Dybala was balling.
Paulo Dybala was the best player under Massimiliano Allegri.
You know, Cuadrado couldn't hack it at Chelsea, but
he went there and balled out.
He went there and balled out. But here's another thing. Douglas Costa was also balling out there too. Here's another thing.
Exactly.
When people think of Allegri, they always automatically think of Juve. And a lot of people forget
even
this.
Milan, even what he
did.
AC Milan.
He won the Serie A with Milan in his first season.
Exactly. With Thiago Silva today.
Ibra as well. I think
so.
As well.
Do you guys agree with what the super chats? Lampard fanboys lower the expectation of Chelsea FC, lower other fan standard and expectation. Then they accuse you of questioning Frank Lampard's dedication and loyalty to Chelsea FC. Frank fans are evil. I said the same thing. Proper Chelsea. I am not a proper register because if I'm a proper Chelsea fan, if Lampard is doing mistake, I wouldn't say much. But I'm not. I'm just a Chelsea fan because Lampard is making mistake. Thank you. Complicated. He's making mistake, and I can see the mistake he's making. So if I'm telling Lampard is making mistake, it doesn't mean I'm saying he's a trash manager. He's not just doing enough to be at Chelsea at the moment. He's tactically in and there. That's why I want Allegri, because if Allegri was hired from day one, from the beginning of the season, I can guarantee you one thing. Chelsea will be the top of the table at the moment right now.
Yeah, bro.
Yes.
The thing is, it's not that you can just come in straight away, bro. The one I also want to say, Lampard messed up with the signings a bit. Like, I think he bought them with no plan. Like, obviously,
without plan.
When a new manager comes in, they might not want half the signings, innit? That's why he's left us in a mess.
Exactly. That's the problem, because those signings that Lampard signed now, the new manager might comes in and may not like those signings. That's gonna be the issue, because what if Allegri comes
out? You're completely out of balance, bro. How many DMs do we have? We only have Kante. Who else?
Nobody.
Nobody else. The rest are attacking midfielders.
That's why I said if Allegri comes in, Kante will benefit more, because that's Allegri type of player in Conte.
And the
that's
thing is,
Allegri.
Only Lampard wants Declan Rice. Like, Chelsea don't want him. Like, only Lampard wants
exactly.
That says something.
Chelsea doesn't want Declan Rice. That's where the problem lies now. Lampard wants Declan Rice, but Chelsea doesn't want Declan Rice. So what's going on? So who are we going to trust? The Chelsea ball or Frank Lampard?
Would you get a DM? Another one.
For me?
Yeah. Zakaria or something like that.
No, I don't want Zakaria. I think who I want as a DM is Wilfred Ndidi. Yes, Wilfred Onye Ndidi. That's what I want as a DM. Yes, Wilfred Onye Ndidi. Niger blood. So I want Ndidi.
I'm not even Nigerian, bro. I'm Algerian, fam.
I want Ndidi because I know getting Ndidi. You're not gonna pass me. You're not gonna pass me. You can dribble everybody, but Ndidi is like Mikel. You can dribble anybody. But
he can play
for you to pass Mikel,
well. Like, some DMs.
Mikel is it's not even a DM. Mikel is a number 10, but Osemo will converted to a DM.
Now look at Ndidi. He can play by himself with 2 attacking 8s in front of him. Bro.
Yes, exactly. He doesn't need cover. Exactly. That's why I say if Allegri comes in, Kante will be beneficial more. And even Kai Havertz and Ziyech will have more playing time under Allegri, because Allegri is flexible. He's very flexible manager. Very flexible.
In the box. He should be like a false 9, something like that.
Yeah, Allegri can even play I've seen him play 4-4-2 before in Juventus. He done it in similar. It's been like 3-5-2, 3-4-3. He's very flexible manager. And Allegri will piss you off, because Allegri will tell you want to come attack me, you are not going anywhere. We defend.
Bro, one more thing, bro. Like, I want to say something. This is funny, innit? Whenever we lose, like I've seen the Arsenal match, we lost 3-1. I see Chilwell hugging and smiling these man. I was like, bro, what's this guy doing, innit? He needs to sort himself up, man. Every time we lose, I always see this left back smiling and hugging people, man. It's a loser's mentality. Don't want to see that.
I don't know. The player we had the player like Lampard, Ashley Cole, John Terry are different than the player we have at this moment. Those players really fought for Chelsea. I don't know what to say, guys. I don't know what to say. I'm just short of word and just confused. For me, confused is a different word for me to use. I'm just down.
Tomorrow's going Milan as well.
See, I'm down. That's why I don't want to come to HH. Because on Thursday, for HH listening, for you guys, tell HH on Thursday, it's gonna be long hours. It's gonna be long.
Is Thursday available to callers?
So what?
Is Thursday available to callers, or just you, man?
No, sure. I'll send you guys the link on Thursday.
All right.
Lampard out. I don't have the link either. The only reason I get in is because Abdullah smuggles me in, bro.
Oh yeah.
I will send you guys the link on Thursday. Once I get the link, I'll just send you guys the link. So you guys will come in. He will bring those guys in. I will tell him to bring you guys in. Because I think we need more Chelsea realistic, not proper fans. We need complicated guys.
I'm on Twitter, innit, and I see all these man saying Mason Mount's our best player. That's a bad thing, man. If it's our best player.
No. I don't want that.
That's really bad.
That's a bad thing.
Wait.
Let me come to Lampard out now. We have
okay.
Where do you see Lampard? Lampard? Marvelous, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, marvelous. I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Why did Lampard bought those players when he can't feed them all and make them work at the same time?
Why did he purchase them? Why did he buy them?
He could have split it across 2 seasons. He could have split it.
I think he bought them just as like to flex his spending power. I think it was more so him not having a true philosophy. He doesn't have a set way that he wants to play. So if he would hear or know that a manager wanted a player, for example, Klopp wanted Werner, but they didn't want to spend the money, he'll go, Klopp probably sees something in him, so he'll go get him. If
Bro,
he
the
heard
reason
that,
we got
he
Ziyech,
had
the only reason,
Arteta,
marvelous. The
Arsenal
only
wanted
reason,
Ziyech.
marvelous. The only
Yeah,
reason
go
we got
ahead.
Ziyech is because of that one game he played against us.
Yeah, that
That's
one
the only
game.
bit of scouting you did against us.
Yeah,
Only bit
that
of
one
scouting.
game with the free kick, but also because Arsenal and Arteta wanted him. Arteta rates him highly. So he went out and he said, oh, they don't want to spend the money, let's do it. So I feel like he was more so like he'd look at whatever what other managers wanted and he would make
And
decisions based off that.
And we all know why I bought Ben Chilwell, bro, because he's English.
And
That was
Ben
I,
Chilwell,
I was for me. I would have loved Tagliafico or Arias for me. I had a
Bro, I'm a big fan of Tierney, man. I wanted him when we had the transfer.
Tierney, exactly.
Yeah,
For me,
Tierney.
Tagliafico for me.
okay,
I have different left back in my head. Tagliafico,
Yeah,
Alex Telles, a lot of
Reguilon,
left. Regular, exactly. For Benchue, it's Lampard.
I'm
If
not a
it's
big fan
Lampard,
of him. I'm not a big fan of him.
nah. But I think for me, I think if an experienced manager comes in, they will improve those players a lot. They will improve them a lot. Like what this guy was saying, he said Allegri will come in players who play counter-attacking football. Yes, this is where Timo Werner thrives. When you play counter-attacking football, Timo Werner thrives a lot because transition. Because I watched Timo Werner make runs today. Timo Werner was making runs, and Rudiger was on the ball. He saw Timo Werner making runs, and he passed back.
At the spot. He was pointing at
he was making on Timo, and Rudiger passed by. I was like, Rudiger, Timo Werner already make runs. Pass the ball to this guy.
Why did we play Rudiger against Vardy?
Why do you?
Okay, no. Should just play Zuma.
Here's another thing. With the whole like transfer thing in Lampard, I just like lost my train of thought.
You were talking about him only scouting, him only buying players because of like without scouting and stuff.
Oh yeah. Thank you, Abdullah. Can you please ask these guys what I asked you in the pre-match with Alonso and Chilwell, and who contributes more if we're being objective?
Yeah, I think Alonso contributes because if you look at those crosses, Alonso will score those crosses with Ziyech is giving out because it's in terms of scoring.
You know those crosses that Ziyech sometimes makes that they go past the striker and Chilwell runs onto them late, and I think he scored.
Oh, I think guys, I just said the news now that I think Roman will join the press conference for Lampard tomorrow for the crisis talk. I think Roman is coming.
Left back.
I think Roman is coming tomorrow.
Bro,
guys,
we needed a left back that could defend, bro, because we already had good left backs that could attack. We
but
needed one that could defend.
You see, I'm about to sound like HH, and I hate when I do that. But how good of a defender is Chilwell? How good of a defender is he really?
No, he's not, bro. He's got
like an 85 out of 100.
We bought him for his crossing.
Alonso is probably like a 70 out of 100. But his crosses aren't being like they're not exceptional. They don't stand out.
Yeah. So basically,
guys, are you guys happy with the news? I'm hearing that Roman will be with the Chelsea talk for the crisis tomorrow with Lampard.
I'm gassed.
What does that say?
I'm gassed.
I don't want to be happy now until tomorrow when I wake up and I see breaking news. Lampard is being. Then my happiness on Thursday. On my Thursday, I'll be like boss on Thursday. I'll be like boss on Thursday. Like now, this is what I want Roman to do. Thank you very much, Roman. Thank you. Now this is what I want.
Do bro.
I'll do the boss. I already do the change. I want Roman to bring that crisis talk tomorrow, and that decision I'm waiting for Morgan. Hey, don't give me shit. You lost this lobby, you're gone. This is your money. Bye-bye.
Bro, I watched this stream and he has me dying, man. Oh my god, he was cussing.
Because the amount of abuse HH have gotten because of the proper Chelsea
I love that guy. Like you said, he's a joker, man.
Yeah, including me. I've gotten some million of abuse just because I want Lampard out.
Bro, these men are crazy. They were texting him. They were literally texting him. Like they were saying, "Oh, you didn't."
Me, they was even saying some. They were even sending him some race stuff just because I want Lampard out. They're calling me a racist just because I want him out. Why?
Bro, let me say something. Earlier today, innit? Do you know some guy said Lampard's the greatest ever played? Do you agree?
Lampard is a what?
Is Lampard our greatest ever player?
Nope.
No,
comment
but
it.
he's our greatest ever midfielder.
Yeah, but
Greatest ever midfielder, not about greatest
bro,
ever
what I
player.
wanted to say is, I was commenting in it. One of the guys was saying, one of these big Chelsea accounts, you know, the puppets in it. He was commenting. He said something like, "Oh, Lampard's the Chelsea's greatest ever player. Show him respect." I said he's not even our greatest player, to be honest. And
He's not even our
I was
greatest. He's
getting
our greatest ever midfielder, not
yeah,
a
but they were
player.
saying
There's a difference
altogether
between that.
They were saying altogether bigger than Drogba and all these man. I was saying no, he's
Never.
not.
No.
Never,
It was
never,
Didier
never,
Drogba
never,
who won towards
never.
the Champions League. No.
Even Zola, man, that guy, man, he's fucking special, bro. Yeah, and I was saying that he is.
Oh, someone just texted a message. So let me read the super chat. He said, "Transfer didn't make sense. Why do we get Timo and CH and get rid of Back, Bass, Will, and Dro? Complete utter mess, man. This is Chelsea Football Club. I'm waiting with the face be this. I have given up already. I don't know what to say."
What I was saying was I was getting abused. Yeah, this guy was saying Lampard's better. He's
exactly. Another super chat comes in. Hopefully, Lampard goes on maternity leave tomorrow permanently. Man, I just heard the news. Roman is showing up in the crisis tomorrow. I cannot wait.
Oh my days!
I'm just gonna wake up tomorrow.
Remember the meeting with Mourinho? Remember the meeting with Mourinho?
Thank you, Roman. Marvelous. I'm in good mood now. I'm in good mood. My man is coming clutch tomorrow. Abramovich is coming clutch. Oh my god. I'm so happy.
Bro, remember Mourinho got sacked?
Yeah, I remember Mourinho getting Ancelotti too. Same with Ancelotti.
Yeah, and he was hiding in the car. I think his head was in the limo. What I was saying was in it, and some guy was replying to me in it. He's like, his argument was Lampard's the highest, probably got the most goals or something like that. I was like, to be honest, yeah, he's not even the best player in the Premier League history, bro. I was saying Drogba's better because his impact in it. He scored. He carried us to 11 trophies because look at all the goals
exactly.
he scored
in every finals ever since Wembley. Ever since Wembley has been new Wembley, Drogba has scored in every final. I've never seen a final with Drogba hasn't scored. He scored in every final. Bro, Lampard wasn't greatest, but on a long shot, he got more fans because he's a British and he's white.
He wasn't even better than scores on them, man. Like, I don't think he was. I think he's third of scores on Gerrard. That's just my opinion in it, bro. But I still think he's a good
player. Fair enough. Bro. So to round this up now, let me come to Bale. Bale, hearing the news Roman is coming with the crisis tomorrow. How happy are you?
I just want to turn on my phone and sleep. I don't know think about Chelsea for now.
hearing about Roman coming to the crisis talk tomorrow, that gave me a goosebump in my body. Roman car.
Now I understand why they didn't sack him today. I'm happy now.
Yeah, Roman. It's because of Roman.
Yeah, he's gonna come. He's gonna do it himself. He's gonna do it to his face. Straight up.
Exactly. Oh, marvelous. Hearing the news about Roman.
Oh, he's gonna get that.
Hearing about Roman coming up tomorrow with the crisis talk. How happy are you?
Yeah. He's not getting a PS5. He's getting a P45.
No, he's getting a check. He's getting out. He's getting booted out. No, he's gonna get booted out. No,
they're gonna pay him off. I think probably like.
Don't worry. I think they're paying 5 million. Roman has the money. Can pay.
He's got a year left, so 5 million probably. 5 million.
Yeah, exactly. So marvelous. Hearing about Roman coming tomorrow for the crisis talk. How happy are you?
I'm happy because I feel like it's come full circle. Like what Lampard used to do to other managers,
AVB
is coming full circle to him, to being done to him. And, it's ironic because he's going to have to answer for a lot of his decisions. There's not going to be anyone to vouch for him. Marina is going to have to take a back seat. Petr Cech is going to have to take a back seat. And it's just going to be Lampard answering to Roman's questions. And, I can't wait. I can't wait for Chelsea Twitter tomorrow because how...
Me too. I cannot wait. Yeah, really, Roman. Just Roman.
Bro, is this news on Twitter? Because I haven't seen it. Because I've just been on here. But you lot have broke it live, innit? It came out how many minutes ago? 10 minutes ago. Was it 10 minutes ago?
Yeah, like 10 minutes ago, yeah.
Oh, shit.
But here's the thing, though. Chelsea Twitter tomorrow, when journalists with like inside sources like Fabrizio Romano, Simon Johnson, when they start putting out reports of what was discussed and what Roman said, it's gonna be hilarious.
Oh my dear, I cannot wait.
Bro,
I'm
they're
having
probably
some
exploding right now.
goosebumps.
They're probably exploding
I'm
right now.
I'm already praying to God. I'm having some goosebumps. I want Roman to do me that job. Roman,
Dua,
just
do
please,
Dua, bro. Do Dua.
please do me that job. I'm gonna pray tonight. So I wake up very happy, confidence tomorrow. Just happy and confidence tomorrow. I'm just
Guys,
gonna
it's
wake up,
breaking news.
check my phone, just check my phone and see breaking news. Lampard is relieved from his job. Oh my God. Oh
Do you
my
know what you're
God.
gonna see?
Oh
Do you
my.
know what you're gonna see? All these man, like all these proper Chelsea fans, they're gonna be, when the next manager comes in, they're gonna throw him under the bus probably because they want Lampard to stay.
Exactly. I'm waiting. So
I'm
I
waiting
can
for
go
that.
at them. I'm waiting so I can go at them. I can easily go at them. So this one said,
This is just civil war between
Drogba,
them.
Essien, even Zola. Fair
To be
enough.
honest,
Fair
bro, the
enough.
reason I started supporting Chelsea because of Essien, bro. You know that goal against Arsenal. That was
Mm-hmm.
the first goal I saw.
Exactly. So guys, I think this kind of round up our thing for today.
Wait.
Possibly I'm gonna go. I'm not
One
doing,
question.
guys. I'm not doing the FA Cup. Don't even come. Don't nobody should ask me about the FA Cup. I am not talking about the FA Cup. I am not talking it.
One
I'm not.
one
Luton Town,
question.
you know.
One
Go
question
for it. Go
for
for it.
you. Do
Mhm.
you guys think Lampard would have been able to carry us like Eden Hazard carried us for like 9 seasons? If he's our greatest ever player, do you guys think he would have been able to
No, he
carry
was in a
us
great team. He was in a great team.
single-handedly?
No,
He
it
was
was
in
in
a
a great team, and he has a great manager around him. It
Eden,
was in a
While
very
Eden,
good
in the
team.
midfield, Essien was doing the dog work. He was doing the
Essien
dog.
Mikel.
exactly.
There was Essien Mikel. There was Essien Mikel. If you remember, Mikel played for like 9 or 10 seasons in Chelsea without
Lampard
getting.
was near the box. He wasn't really. He was used to roam
He was
around
in
the
number
box.
10. It was
Yeah.
in number 10, and the box just like the way Messi Mount played. That's where like what's called Lampard plays in the era. He has Ancelotti. He has Drogba. He has those kind of managers who like implement their system to fit in Lampard. That's what the problem we're having about Messi Mount now. That's the issues we're
Exactly.
having at him now.
Exactly. Eden Hazard balled out with average players around him for some
Mm-hmm.
time,
You know what is though?
and sometimes he had average managers. That's just
True.
something to
Yeah.
bear in mind. So imagine Eden Hazard having an elite team. You see, people say like, why didn't Chelsea back other managers how they backed Lampard?
Lampard. Yeah.
Imagine if Chelsea, if the board backed the team when Eden Hazard was there, we would have had some Champions Leagues. Imagine Hazard in this team balling out.
Exactly. Balling out. Yes.
You know what I will say? Bro, do you know all the managers Lampard has played and he's playing on a defensive managers until 18
Exactly.
19 season, Sarri came, he had his best season. Attacking
Yeah.
manager.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was
Exactly.
the only season under attacking manager they left.
But
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I'm rounding up though,
Exactly.
guys. Honestly, with Hazard, I think he's depressed. I think there's something off the pitch that's affecting him.
Yeah. I think for me it's a mentality problem though. That's
No.
the
I
issue.
think beyond just mentality, I think he's going through something off the pitch. It may be a family thing. We don't know how COVID has affected his family. If he has
That's
like
true.
older parents, grandparents, we don't know these things. Like
Mm-hmm.
footballers, they don't share everything that's happening in their life.
Yeah, that's
So
why
he
Fair
I
may,
enough.
don't. That's why
I
the
think,
Kepa thing. I don't really go for Kepa in it because I know you might be going through something.
yeah, Kepa's
Exactly.
going through things. His long-term girlfriend, fiance, cheated on him, and that's like public
Wow.
knowledge. But people don't care about that. They like use that to banter players. But I feel
Mm.
like Eden Hazard, and I think Alex brought this up on the last hangout on HH's channel. There's a
Mm-hmm.
thing, I think it's called stress eating. I feel like Hazard
Mm-hmm.
may be doing that.
Too much
Because if
eating.
you ever
Too
pay
much.
attention to when he goes on social media, he doesn't particularly appear happy.
Yeah.
And I feel
I
like
think
it may be a situation of, how when you hold something in high regard and when you finally get it, it's not what you thought it would be. I feel like
Yeah.
he felt moving to Real Madrid was like his dream, but then he's realized that, oh no, my dream was probably being the main man at a club where the fans loved me.
the
And
fans
now I'm
probably
in Real
abuse him as
Madrid.
well. I think the fans
Yeah, now
abuse him.
I'm in Real Madrid and I'm just another star. Whereas at
Yeah.
Chelsea, I was the star and they literally loved me. So I feel like he's realized that the grass is not always green on the other side.
But
And
the
it's
same thing with
sad.
Alexis Sanchez. Same thing with Alexis Sanchez, bro. He should stay at Arsenal. They loved him, bro.
Yeah,
That's true.
bro.
it's
So,
really sad.
to round this up now,
The funny thing is,
I'm,
just one more thing, bro. Those are the two saddest declines of football. Remember in 2017, they were the two best players in the Premier League. Now look at them, bro.
Yeah, look
yeah,
at them.
Hazard and
Alexis
Alexis,
Sanchez.
bro.
If you guys remember, I don't know how long you guys have been following
Sanchez is the
HH.
closest guys, the closest
I
player
don't know
to
if you
Hazard.
guys.
He's the closest. He's the only one you could say maybe one season he was better than Hazard. That was
Yeah.
the closest guy.
I don't know how long you guys have been following HH, but if you haven't been following him for that long, type in Have Hope Football Hut on YouTube and type in Alexis Sanchez and Eden Hazard. Type in those three names together. HH put up a legendary video that people still reference on the Hangout where he infamously said that Alexis Sanchez, in his opinion, with the eye test, is better than Eden Hazard.
16-17, he was a beast. He was a beast. 16-17, bro.
Yeah, he was. He used to score headers too. It was crazy.
yeah, exactly.
Bro,
So let me ask this Lampard out now. You hearing the news about Roma being in the crisis with the talk tomorrow. How happy and confident are you for tomorrow?
I'm confident, bro. I'm happy. You know what? It's gonna be Twitter's gonna go civil war. It's gonna be the Lampard in versus Lampard out. I
No,
can't wait for
I want it to be World War II. World War II.
It's World
World
War
War II. World War II. No. I want
Bro,
those proper Chelsea fans that has been abusing me. It's my time to abuse them back.
I'm gonna go on HH's account. I'm gonna turn on notifications on. I wanna see all his tweets, bro. I wanna see HH's tweets, bro. He's gonna go crazy.
HH will be happy. Like if he hears HH will be so mad. Imagine if Lampard gets sacked by Roman tomorrow, we may have a 24 hours live stream tomorrow by HH, and I'm ready for that. We may possibly have a live stream tomorrow. And
emergency hangout.
I need to tweet him tomorrow. HH.
Yeah, bro.
I think Lampard is getting sacked.
Complicated Chelsea show or whenever you get sacked, yeah, you need to send me that link, bro.
I'm sending that link on Thursday. On Thursday, I'll put it there. I'll put it on Marvelous.
Me and Marvelous, and Bale as well. If you want to come on.
Yeah, we're going on Thursday. I think people was asking about me today. I was like, I'm this. I was busy, man.
I looked into the stream while I was in here, and people were spamming in the comments, "Where's Abdullahi?"
Oh no! On Thursday, I'm coming on Thursday.
Bro, I want to hear that line, bro.
After the City game, I didn't go, but I watched it, and I didn't comment either. I just watched it, and in the comments, people were like, "Yo, where the fuck is that guy Marvelous that never shows his face? He's hiding now, huh?"
Nah, I saw your face, bro. I saw your face in the other one.
The Arsenal match killed me. That was when I lose my everything on Lampard. How on earth will a relegation
Credit
team
to
Arsenal?
Arteta, bro. Credit to Arteta. He knows what he's doing, bro. He knows what he's doing.
Arteta is a better manager than Lampard.
It's way better.
And when I first said it, people thought I was crazy. Arteta has worked. Love Pep Guardiola or hate him. He's one of when his career is said and done, he's gonna be rated as he's going to be up there in terms of one of the greatest managers. And Arteta worked closely with him for 3 years, coming up with formations.
Funny thing is, when Lampard got the job, they asked him, did he get any advice from any managers? Did he have any mentors? He said, no. I don't need them. I don't need them, bro. It's this guy.
You don't need them. Why? Why don't you need them? Why? That's arrogance.
You could have picked the phone up, went to Mourinho and asked him, man. But he didn't do that.
Exactly. I think that's the sound of this thing for tonight. I cannot wait for tomorrow. I'm just waiting for the breaking news. I want to sleep and have a good one. Breaking news for tomorrow. Lampard getting sacked.
I'm gonna be at work.
I love you, bro. I love you.
Tomorrow, breaking news. Lampard getting sacked. Lampard getting picked out. Lampard getting booted out of the club.
Can you imagine the video that HH is gonna make if he gets sacked?
Oh my God! It's gonna be Thursday. It's gonna be a long stream. I told HH Thursday. Oh my God!
There might be two.
It's gonna be person on Thursday.
There might be one.
I cannot wait.
If he gets sacked tomorrow, you might have to do an emergency one.
Maybe me, maybe HH. I have to ask HH if HH is doing. We're going all out tomorrow.
Lampard, I was telling Abdullahi earlier. Do you think that Abdullahi needs a show on HH's channel?
Bro, he needs somebody, bro. Give this guy a show. I'll jump on it every day, man. Don't even care.
I have to speak to HH. I'll ask him on Thursday. I'll ask him on Thursday.
Bro,
People should ask him. People should send a DM to him and ask him that question. Then he will be able to
no,
respond.
this guy's a G. They all know Abdullah is a G. I heard his first 2 words, 2-year apprenticeship. I started laughing, bro. This guy.
2 years. I'm serious. 2 years apprenticeship because that's what Lampard is at the moment.
That made me laugh because it's literally apprenticeship.
2 years.
Apprenticeship, bro.
Abdullah
is learning.
Abdullah says the facts in the most comedic but true way. Like he says the right things in the funniest and true way. Like you can't hate him.
You can't hate this guy, man. Like,
I don't know. It's 2 years because the first year was the transfer, but second year was like, let's see where we're gonna go. If like I'm an apprentice, working as an apprentice now, like go to a job 1 year, 2 years, like boss. The next year, let me see if I can get a permanent job. That's what Lampard is doing to Chelsea. Getting 2 years a job.
What's he gonna do when he gets sacked? Is how are you gonna get him a job somewhere else or something, bro?
Exactly. The 2 years is almost over. It's almost over.
He's gonna ask his uncle. You know what he's gonna do when he gets sacked? He's gonna go on BT Sport. He's gonna be a pundit there. That's what he's gonna do.
Exactly. It's 2 years already. 2 years.
Jamie. Redknapp was defending him, bro. Do you see what he was saying?
Forget it. I want to see Nini and Benson look on their ugly face when Lampard and Chelsea party. Oh my God! I cannot wait. Roman, please, can you make decision tomorrow? Nick and son of Chelsea too.
You're Algerian. Oh my God. You're Algerian, right?
Yeah, half.
Do you watch Do you watch Yunus?
Yunus HH.
Yeah, I think he's very objective too. Abdullah, you should watch him. You probably do watch him.
I always watch him. I do watch him.
Yeah, he's objective too.
Bro, do you know how you were screaming for Allegri? There's one guy, he plays for Lyon. He's a centre mid. Do you know his name? Awar. I wanted him at Chelsea in the summer.
He's a baller.
He's a fucking
baller, bro. Asim Awar, right?
He's Algerian, bro. He's Algerian. But he plays for France. I don't know. Yeah.
Asim Awar.
You should have got him over Havertz.
HH put out
I've been saying it from day one. When Lampard was here, I told HH from day one. HH, I'm waiting for Mas Allegri. HH was looking at me laughing. I said, the man I want is Allegri. He said, why? I said, the definition of Roman Abramovich is winner. Is it success for Roman is win. It's trophy. Every manager Roman has hired has won trophy. What has Lampard won? 0. That is a big failure in Roman's face. Big one, big.
He's still in Roman's face already. Game. He's got that one game he looks to, bro. That Leeds game, he fluked it, bro.
That's a failure for me.
Here's another thing. You know how HH put up the video of can an African team win the World Cup?
Yeah.
I think Algeria have a really solid team.
Yeah, Algeria, maybe Algeria, Morocco. Algeria,
Morocco.
I think Nigeria has a little bit chance, if not for the coach. Our coach is Class A. Class A is our coach.
I think Algeria and Nigeria have really good chances.
I think Morocco too has a chance.
Morocco's got Ziyech.
Morocco has my man Hakim Ziyech
Hakimi as well. Hakimi. Algeria's got
Benatia.
Even Ben
and this Senegal goalkeeper, the Sevilla goalkeeper. What's his name? This Sevilla number 1. What's his name? Is it Bono or what's his name? It's very good also too. So guys, tomorrow. See you guys maybe next week, but I may do an angle tomorrow if I see a breaking news. I just want the breaking news, please. Yeah, Roman, please. I want the breaking news tomorrow so I can have goosebumps in my body.
I'll DM you, bro, and then you can send me the link. I'll DM you.
Alright, no worries.
Yeah,
no
bro.
worries.
My username is the SCN profile pic and Lampard out too. That's my username.
Okay. Guys, thank you for coming for this tonight. It's been lovely. It's been kind of ups and down. I appreciate you guys for coming in. And guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Like and subscribe to the channel, guys. Like and subscribe to the channel. I'm just waiting on Roman to come in tomorrow. Fly from Russian. Take like 3 hours, 4 hours plane to Russia with a max.
Bro, do you know what the mad thing is? This is that serious. He's having to fly from Israel to UK. He's having to fly.
That's serious it is.
That's serious.
Israel to UK. Wow.
Oh my days, bro. Just as we're doing, I got a notification, bro. A Lampard dinner just flipping replied to me. Oh my days.
Oh, guys, see you guys tomorrow and peace out, guys. Peace out.
Peace out.
Guys, thank you guys for coming out. Peace out, guys.
Yeah, peace out.
Alright. Thank you for coming, bro. Peace. Peace, everyone. Peace.
Okay.
Peace out, bro. Thank you very much for coming in, bro. Peace out, bro. Peace.
Yeah.
All right,
Welcome.
bro. All right. Guys, really appreciate you guys for coming in. So, guys, peace. Peace out, guys. Peace. Peace, guys. Appreciate you guys. Peace out.